Hello, passengers, and welcome to the Midnight Train, America's second favorite podcast, where we bring the dark to light, where history never dies, and, of course, where listener discretion is always advised. Get the kids out of the room. Okay. We love to make fun of and joke about creepy and unsolved mysteries of the world, all while bringing you as much information on each topic as possible. Yes, we are a comedy podcast, and things can get a little bit dark from time to time, so if you're not into that, listen, no hard feelings. We get it. It's all good. Just give it a shot. I think you have to.
You always got to try it once.
You got to try some. You got to try everything once.
Yep.
Well, almost everything. There's a few things I can think of I just would never want to try.
Like butt stuff?
Well, like suicide, because you can only do it once. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Just hit the good old reset button.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, that's just, anyway. Anyway, give us a shot. You may love us, and then again, you may not, because you may not be as cool as you think you are. Anyway, I am your host, the conductor of the cryptic, Jonathan Sayer, and of course, with me is my co-host, the one and only Logan.
Yay. Hello. How are you?
Oh, I am.
Yeah?
I am.
You are.
Oh, I cannot wait for the holidays to be over.
Yeah.
Seriously, I want to get back to normality.
Yeah.
I want to get back to just everything, because I get it, everyone. I understand the whole philosophy and the ideology behind the holidays. You know, to give and not receive, and to help those less fortunate than you.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Of course.
However, we live in 2022 when it's all about commercialism and parties and...
Yay, capitalism.
Anyway.
That was a really good sound.
Hold on. Bah humbug. There it is.
Perfect.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so whatever. Anyway, our Patreon bonus for this week is actually... I don't even know if I want to say what it is, but it's pretty cool. I heard about something from a historical figure who is a very, very prominent historical figure. And I'll put it this way, he was assassinated.
Oh.
But I found something about him that I had no freaking idea about. I'll just say it, I'll put it this way. Everyone believes he wears a big tall hat.
Is this Abe Lincoln?
Did you say, hey, Blinken?
No.
Okay. No, man, I said Abe Lincoln. Yes, it's actually about Abraham Lincoln, and it's pretty awesome. So if you're not a Patreon member, one of our first-class passengers, get on over to patreon.com/The Midnight Train Podcast, because it's pretty amazing, and I can't wait to go through it. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So cool.
They're so cool. So anyway, listen, we're going to save the rest of the business stuff until the end. So let's just jump right in, right?
Or dive in, shall we?
Oh, boy.
It's going to be one of those episodes.
Yeah, it is. So let's turn down the lights, adjust seats, grab a drink, which we do have.
Yes, a nice tall glass of cough syrup.
Yeah. It's not that bad once you get into it.
No, it really isn't. Like after the first sip, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's just, it tastes like an old-fashioned emphasis on the old.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to call it St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah. It's fire. Fire. Anyway, let's get, what are we doing today? Let's get
Submersible.
Let's get Titanic.
Oh, that works too.
Yeah. All right. But first, here's a toast to all you beautiful motherfuckers. Ah. Thank you. Before we jump in, I definitely want to give a shout out to Designated Quizzers, the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
They had us on there, and I'm not sure when that's going to drop. They said in January sometime, maybe?
Like the second week of January?
Something like that, yeah. And they pinned us up against the Happy Hour podcast. And guess who won?
Of course, we always come out on top.
Yeah, hey, Tabitha. Sorry! I'm not sorry. Anyway, it was a great time, and I want to say thank you to them for having us out there once again, because that was our second time on their show, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah.
It was fun. It was a blast.
It was cool. We had
so glad we didn't have to drink that toilet water, though.
Yeah. We had an issue because we were actually in an abandoned elementary school.
Like the Midnight Train style should be.
Right. And trying to get connection to do the damn thing, and ended up having to do it on our phone, and we're standing on the hallway, and then all of a sudden you just hear this blink downstairs below us. So I go down and look. There's a guy down there. Not a big deal because there's plenty of people that go in and out of that place. It's actually a rehearsal spot, for bands.
Oh.
Ooh, time to leak a secret. No, I didn't. Anyway, then all of a sudden the light goes off and Guy leaves, and we're sitting there finishing up with the designated quizzers over there, and all of a sudden I hear ba-dink again, and I'm like, yep, time to go. Not sure what that noise was.
Yeah, that was a Scooby and Shaggy moment right there.
Oh, Raggy.
Raggy. Like Zoinks.
Their feet. I can't do the noise, but whatever. All right, so as most of us know, the RMS Titanic was a British passenger liner operated by the White Star Line. It sank in the North Atlantic Ocean on April 15th, 1912, after striking an iceberg, supposedly, during her maiden voyage from Southampton, England, to the beacon of freedom, New York City, right here in the U.S. And by the way, if you are new here, yes, we understand it's supposedly. It's an ongoing joke before you think that we're just stupid. just making sure to clarify.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Of the estimated 2,224 passengers and crew aboard, more than 1,500 people passed away, making it the deadliest sinking of a single ship up to that time. The most lethal is the Wilhelm Gustloff, I guess.
Gustloff?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Where on January 30th of 1945, 9,000 people roughly actually perished aboard the German ocean liner after it was torpedoed by a Soviet submarine and sank in the frigid waters of the Baltic Sea. Damn.
Yeah, I remember looking into that a little bit more. It's
the Germans,
it's pretty crazy. They were thinking that they were like hauling munitions or something like that because there was a whole like embargo and all that stuff because obviously it was World War II at that time.
Yeah.
And they just saw them in instant fire. There was no like, hey, do you have anything on the board? It was a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, see those guys? Just shoot them. But why? I don't know. Just do it. Who knows who it could be? It could be anyone.
Because it'd be Russian, so
right.
It'd be very...
Oh, yeah. That's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one. Yeah, the Germans are the ones that got shot.
I was thinking about... Actually, that was a little foreshadowing there. Oh. It was an accidental foreshadowing, but it is a foreshadowing.
Yes.
In other words, it'd be like, oh, no, don't do it. Shut up, Yuri. Anyway, so the Titanic is still the most fatal peacetime sinking of a superliner or cruise ship.
Crazy.
So basically not in wartime. Right. So RMS Titanic was the largest ship afloat when it entered service and the second of 3 Olympic-class ocean liners operated by the White Star Line. It was built by the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast, Ireland. Oh. Look at us making a ship here.
I didn't realize that it was built in Belfast.
Oh, yeah, we built all kinds of things. We're usually drunk, so don't blame us for it sinking. Kidding. Please don't get mad at me. It was a joke. Anyway, the ocean liner carried some of the wealthiest people in the world, as well as hundreds of immigrants from Great Britain, Ireland, Scandinavia, and elsewhere throughout Europe, who, they were looking for a new start and a new life in the United States and in Canada. As Canada was letting people come in, too. They were like, come on in, eh? Yeah, we've got plenty of maple syrup for everyone. It'll be great.
You're nailing these accents.
I'm trying. I feel like I haven't been here forever.
I know, right?
The first class accommodation was designed to be the pinnacle of comfort and luxury, with a gymnasium, swimming pool, libraries, high-class restaurants, and luxurious cabins. And keep that in mind, too, because some may say that maybe they put too much emphasis on the luxurious aspect of it and not in the safety aspect.
Yeah, because of this incident that did happen. That's why there's... Yes, incidences. That's why there's so many safety regulations on cruise ships nowadays.
Yeah, but there's... We'll talk about it.
Oh,
Yeah. So again, they have all kinds of really cool things in here for the rich and powerful.
Of course.
Right? In addition, a high-powered radio telegraph transmitter was available for sending passenger marconograms and for the ship's operational use. Yeah. Hey, do you know what a marconogram is?
Is that what they use to talk to, like, Batman?
No. Yes.
Yeah?
No, it's not. The marconogram was named after the inventor of it. Guglielmo, or it could be No, it's got to be Guglielmo, right?
Yeah. I would think
Giovanni Maria Marconi.
I was right. That's Batman.
He's not my Batman.
But that's the mob boss for Batman.
Boppity boopy, I'm not the Batman. No, I don't know. Oh, sorry, Italians. I apologize. This is the first Marquis of Marconi, an inventor and electrical engineer known for creating the practical radio wave-based wireless telegraph system. So it was advanced for its time.
Wow.
Yeah. He was eventually credited as the inventor of radio, and he shared the 1909 Nobel Prize in Physics with Carl Ferdinand Braun, quote, in recognition of their contributions to the development of wireless telegraphy.
Huh.
Yes. Pretty cool.
That is actually pretty sweet.
I was going through it, and I was just like, oh.
Pretty cool.
By the way, I do want to do an episode eventually. It's probably going to be a Patreon episode, but on the guy who actually created the Nobel Prize.
Yes, his name was
Arthur Nobel. Is that what it was?
Something like that, yeah.
It's probably like Bob Nobel. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, but something like that.
Anyway, his story is crazy cool.
Yes.
Like crazy.
Do you know what the latest Nobel Peace Prize is going to?
Who it's going to?
Yeah. Well, not who, but for what?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I do not know.
So, do you remember me telling you about the first chance that the first time that we got fusion to actually push out energy instead of absorbing?
Is that for the particle accelerator? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're giving out a Nobel Peace Prize for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because they were not we, as in like I had anything to do with it, but they were able to, finally get fusion to work,
right,
and actually output energy instead more.
This is the Hadron Collider. Is that what is that what we're talking about?
Oh,
because the Hadron Collider, it's crazy. It's like under the ground in like two. It connects like two different parts of the country, so they build this tunnel underneath. You know what the Hadron Collider is, right?
Yeah.
For it to actually like be able to
smash things,
it's got to be able to go fast enough to actually.
Yeah, I don't think it's for the Hadron Collider because what they did was they actually put it's like a bead of hydrogen in a small glass vial and then hit it with 180 different lasers all at the exact same time and within less than a second. So basically, in the time,
I'm sorry, 180 what?
Lasers.
I'm sorry, what?
Lasers.
Laser? You mean they got freaking lasers? I don't even know why. Every time I hear laser, I just think of him. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
But they were able to basically hit this particle with all those lasers or whatever, and it was able to net output more energy than we put into it, than those lasers needed to be used.
And that there's fusion.
And that there is fusion, there is the future.
Which is what we're looking to do. We want to be able to sustain and create our own energy as opposed to consuming all the energy on the planet. So,
yes.
Anyway... no, that's great. And I did not know that. That's super cool.
Yeah, they're finally getting a Nobel Prize for that.
That's awesome. So Titanic had a slew of advanced features, safety features, like watertight compartments. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Uh-huh.
Oh, really?
And remotely activated watertight doors.
Oh.
Contributing to its reputation as unfreaking sinkable. That's right. But, of course, we all know how this story ends.
Or do we?
Or that's why we're here.
Oh.
That's right. Titanic was equipped with 16 lifeboat davits. That's the lowering mechanism that's capable of lowering 3 lifeboats. So if you ever see them, they kind of look like arms. They go out like this, and they...
Or like a little pulley system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they... Like that.
They do that?
They go... Each time, yeah. For a total of 48 boats, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. However, the ship only carried 20 lifeboats. And, of course, for most of you out there, you know this whole story. You've probably all seen Titanic. We're here to talk about the conspiracies, but I wanted to go over and kind of like just reintroduce it to everybody so they knew. Because there is some stuff here that, honestly, that I found that I didn't know. And I've been around for a long time, so I know a lot about the Titanic and whatnot.
Have you?
Yes.
You've been around for a long time?
Yes, I actually was on the ship. Yes, I was
You
out
a survivor?
there. I was, because what happened was, as we were going, and someone said, "Iceberg!" So I grabbed my glass and my scotch, and I just reached my hand out, and bloop, there it was. And so then I was fine. I was pretty drunk from there on out, so I don't know what happened.
I feel like this is a scary movie skit.
But here I am. I'm pickled and look as good as new. Anyway, sorry.
I don't ever want to hear you say you're pickled.
I am. I'm pickled from the inside out.
That's tasty.
Mm-hmm. So 4 of these boats were collapsible, okay, and they proved very hard to launch while Titanic was sinking, okay. Collapsible A is what they call these boats here. It nearly swamped up. In other words, it like just bombarded itself with like water and stuff,
right?
And was filled with a foot of water until rescue. So like as they're out there in these frigid, freezing waters, it's just filled with water,
right?
You know what I mean? And collapsible B completely overturned while it was being launched.
Ooh!
So that's no bueno.
He is no bueno.
No. So altogether, the 20 lifeboats could only hold 1,178 people. Now, I'm not great at math, but that's not enough.
No.
About half the number of passengers on board and 1/3 of the numbers of passengers the ship could have carried a total capacity. okay, at total capacity.
Wow.
Which was consistent with the maritime safety regulations of that period. As a result, when the ship sank, a lot of the lifeboats that were actually lowered were seriously only about half full.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's because people were in such a panic that they were. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have to ask. You've seen Titanic, right?
No.
What the? Yes, you have.
I know what the movie's about. Why would I want to watch a 3.5 hour long movie where they're trying to make you cry the whole time? I understand it's a sad situation, but I don't want to fucking watch a show that's gonna make me sad.
It's actually a really good movie.
I mean, I've heard parts of it.
There's a lot of it that's kind of bullshit and embellished or whatever, but it's actually a good movie.
Like the whole fucking Leonardo DiCaprio or whatever. There's no room on this fucking piece of wood. The soundtrack is amazing.
Celine D's nuts. Got it.
Damn.
Sorry. Anyway,
I love Celine Dion.
Dion. So Titanic's maiden voyage was supposed to be the first of many transatlantic crossings between Southampton and New York via Cherbourg and Queenstown, heading west. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They go to the west.
As they do.
Then going back east, it was intended to return through Plymouth and back to over to England. Okay. So you can actually find the entire schedule of the voyages and stuff up to December of 1912 online. So if you guys are interested in that, just get on there and Google it.
Do you know supposedly that they're actually trying to rebuild the Titanic, calling it the Titanic 2?
That sounds dumb.
It does, but they're trying to literally replicate it in its entirety. Which, if you look at
including the hole in the front
before the crash,
supposed crash.
Crash.
And by the way, we are not in any way trying to make fun of or disparage any of the people that were lost in this.
Nope.
It is a huge tragedy. We're just trying to make it's a heavy topic, so we're just trying to, again, like we do, just bring some light to this. So just so you guys know, we would never ever do that.
Yes.
But anyway, so they're literally trying to do that.
They're trying to rebuild it, and they were actually showing like side by side pictures of the Titanic compared to a normal cruise ship. And oh my gosh, does the Titanic look like a small little raft compared to a cruise
today's
ship?
Cruise ships are crazy.
I never realized that. I thought they were just a little bit bigger. It's like 4 times the size.
We were down in Miami.
Yeah.
And of course, Miami is a big port.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Welcome to Miami. Whatever you say.
Okay, Will Smith.
All right. Dude, don't make me rap the whole thing. I'll do it. Anyway, as soon as we got off the plane, we immediately turned that on, and we're just like, going through Miami. So anyway, we were going, I believe, to Little Havana, and we went to this like little port place, and some of those cruise ships, dude, they're bigger than hotels. And I mean, like, literally bigger than, probably 3 times the size.
That's what I'm saying. They're gigantic. Like, it's like legitimately a small city.
And then people wonder, and by the way, this episode has got my anxiety up really high because of being the water hole knee thing.
Yeah.
Something that large should not be able to just float. I'm sorry.
No?
No. Nope.
Oh.
I'm not a physicist, though, so I don't know.
I mean, technically, we're just floating on lava, so.
But it's hardened lava.
But it's still.
It's hardened.
Wet.
It's hardened. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, this one really, like, just going through this whole thing, I'm just like breathing heavily and like, ugh. Because just imagining what those people went through is literally my worst nightmare.
Dude,
that is my worst nightmare.
I just, not in the cold. Like, if it was in the tropics, like, I wouldn't be nearly as scared of the boat sinking, but.
And, well, we'll get into it too, but there were so many factors involved. Not only was it like like freezing waters. It was pitch black. I mean, 0 light.
Well, yeah,
you don't know what's underneath you.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And my dumb ass can't swim.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So guess what? Bye.
Yeah, I can't wade.
And then I can't. That's me. I can't wade. I can swim, but I can't wade.
You're gonna get tired at one point.
And then you've also got to worry about all the other people, the debris, and the suction of the thing going in the water.
Yeah, that's the scariest part. I've seen a lot of like when MythBusters was really big, and they were like showing like all the myths behind like sinking. Like, can you actually get sunk, like sucked into the sinking ship?
Yeah.
After you swim away, and it's like a very severe possibility because
it's like a vortex.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It's
yeah, I don't really care for it.
Anyway, I'm doing this for you people out there, right? That's all.
Just like the autopsy one.
Yes. I face my fears on this show for you, okay? So I hope you appreciate. Tell your friends.
Hey, man, you're a hell of a guy.
Yeah, thank you. I try. So anyway, so this one here, Titanic was expected to actually arrive in New York, Pier 59, on the morning of April 17th. Instead, after leaving Queenstown, Titanic followed the Irish coast as far as the Fastnet Rock, approximately 63 miles or 102 kilometers for our smart listeners. And that's an ongoing joke as well, people. Sorry, don't get offended. Or get offended, whatever. I mean, I can't tell you what to do.
Yeah.
So Titanic then traveled 1,860 miles or 3,000 kilometers along a Great Circle route across the North Atlantic to reach a spot in the ocean known as the Corner, just southeast of Newfoundland, where westbound Cleveland steamers carried out a change of course. Okay, that's gross. I'm sorry. We all know what a Cleveland steamer is, right? It's not right. I'm just kidding.
Dad. What is a Cleveland steamer?
Well, perhaps you should Google it. Perhaps everyone out there should Google that, because... Of course I'm kidding. All right. They were just steamships. And I'm sorry, kind of. Anyway. So Titanic sailed for just a few hours past the corner of on a rum line leg for roughly 1,177 miles or 1,895 kilometers to Nantucket Shoals Light when the ship came upon a giant fucking iceberg. Hey, Logan.
What's up?
Hey.
Hi.
Do me a favor.
Okay.
Smell me.
Wait, what?
Just smell me.
Okay.
Yeah, smell that?
Yeah,
It smells good, doesn't it?
It does.
Because that's Dr. Squatch.
Oh, really?
Of course, it's the best soap, and we talk about Dr. Squatch all the time on the show. And guess what?
What?
Our listeners right now can actually save 20% off of orders of $20 or more on their first purchase.
No way.
Yeah, they can try it out. If you haven't tried out Dr. Squatch, what are you waiting for? You can literally save 20%. Just go to themidnighttrainpodcast.com, click on sponsor deals, scroll down a little bit, and click on that banner, the Dr. Squatch banner. You'll see it. And yeah, I smell pretty good, don't I?
Yeah, you smell great.
Yeah, thank God I showered today.
Thankfully.
The final leg of the journey would have been 222 miles or 357 kilometers to Ambrose Light and finally to New York Harbor. So think about that. They went almost 1,200 miles.
Right.
And they were 222 miles out. That is still incredibly far out into the ocean.
Yeah, especially for something like that. I feel like it wasn't really traveling that fast, so it probably still would have took like 3 or 4 hours for that ship to even get to the port, let alone swim.
No, it'd probably been days, wouldn't it? 222 miles?
No, because I mean, if it's traveling at like 20 knots, I mean, 20 knots is just under 20 miles, so I would imagine it would probably have taken about 10 hours. So yeah, half a day.
Okay. I don't know. I have no idea. I really have no idea.
I mean, a big boat like that, typically like the large cruise liners, I think they travel at about like 25, 30 knots. So I would imagine that probably was doing about 15, 20.
Well, let's put this into context here. Okay.
Yeah,
So it was supposed to arrive on April 17th.
Yes.
And it went down on when?
The 15th?
Let's go back to our notes here. What was it?
When
was it?
The day before?
2 days before.
Yeah, the 15th. I said.
Right. And it's supposed to arrive on the 17th.
Well, they're stops, you know. They got to get out and see the whales and shit.
Oh, is it? Perhaps instead of whales, they should have been looking for fucking icebergs.
Probably.
Yeah. Jesus. Anyway, so it's still just incredibly deep, incredibly far out. You're in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It's ridiculous. So the weather started to clear, you know, as it actually left Ireland, you know, under the cloudy skies with a headwind. So just so you guys know, like it was kind of shitty when they were getting ready to leave, and then it started to clear up a little bit. What's the matter?
I was right on how fast it was going.
How fast?
The top speed of the Titanic is 23 knots.
I was still right on a couple days.
You were.
Okay.
We're both right.
We're both right. High fives. All right. Get it. Oh, that was horrible.
I have a tree in my ear. I can't really go too far.
So the first 3 days of the doomed voyage from Queenstown passed without any problems. Okay? Any problems? Well, as far as most of the passengers were concerned. Unfortunately, a fire had started in one of the ship's coal bunkers roughly 10 days before it departed. Okay? Yeah. 10 days. It continued to burn for several days into the voyage, but the passengers supposedly didn't have a fucking clue.
I'm sorry, wait, what?
Yeah, they had no idea. Because it's one of those things it's a steamship, therefore it's going to smell like coal burning. They don't know what the hell's going on. Freaking, 4 or 5 decks down, 3 decks, whatever it is.
So let me just get this straight. Okay.
Yes.
So the fire was burning several days into the voyage. You wouldn't...
And 10 days prior.
I mean, accidents happen, but it's still going on while people are aboard the ship.
Correct.
And you have these really, really big steam stacks on there, and you're walking around and all of a sudden you just get hit in the face with smoke and you don't think anything of it?
Well, I don't know if the smoke was... Obviously, I don't think the smoke was coming into the cabin at all. I think they had a... And we'll talk about it later because that's one of the conspiracies. And we'll discuss it. But yeah, it's just crazy to me that the damn thing was burning for like 14 days.
That is ridiculous.
So fires apparently occurred quite frequently on board steamships at the time due to spontaneous combustion of the coal.
That makes sense.
Yep, just another reason for me to have been horrified of these big-ass fucking death boats. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just let's add that to it.
Yeah.
Let's add just fire down below.
I'm actually really curious, though. Does the same thing happen with trains? Like coal-powered trains? Steam trains? Steam engine trains?
Like spontaneous combustion?
Yeah.
I would imagine they probably did back in the day.
They're carrying it like right behind everything, so I'd imagine that sparks are...
But this is also an enclosed area.
Oh, true. That would be more open. Yeah, that makes more sense.
I would assume. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's something we could look into. Huh. So the fires had to be extinguished with fire hoses by moving the coal on top to another bunker and removing the burning coal and feeding it into the furnace. The fire was finally extinguished on April 14th. Some enthusiasts speculate about whether this fire and the attempts to put it out may have made the ship more vulnerable when it ate the world's biggest snow cone. And we're going to talk about that one. Okay, that's one of the conspiracies, like I said. Snow cone, sorry. I had
It's
to.
just so stupid.
Titanic had received multiple warnings from other ships about drifting ice in and around the area of the Great Banks of Newfoundland. Okay, so they had heard messages. Remember, they have a radio, like a wireless transmitter there that can actually get stuff, and they were told.
Right.
You know, and they just... Anyway, Captain Edward Smith ignored them, dickhead, and regardless, the ship continued to steam on at full speed ahead. Allegedly, the ship wasn't trying to set a speed record, allegedly. However, time was a priority. Remember, this was its very first run.
Right.
They wanted to prove to the world that not only is this thing big and luxurious, but it's fast, and it's the wave of the future, no pun intended. And maybe I should have intended that. Anyway. So under maritime practices at the time, ships were often set out at close to full speed, okay, with ice warnings seen as advisories, and instead just relying on lookouts and the watchdogs freezing their nuts off on the top of the bridge up there. Yeah, advisor. Take it under advisement, would you? Hey there, Bob, I just got this message over. Apparently there's a bunch of icebergs in the area. Take it under advisement. Now get up top there and get those icicles off your nuts there. So it was generally believed that ice didn't pose a significant danger to large ships. And of course, Titanic was huge.
It was huge.
Huge. Close calls with ice happened. Of course, you know, you're out there in these ships. It would happen from time to time. And even head-on collisions seemed to be nothing more than little bumper thumpers. You know what I mean? Because it would happen all that they would hit boats. Just boonk.
Right.
Which, who the fuck's driving these boats?
No anymore.
So back in 1907, SS Kronprinz Wilhelm, a German liner, had smacked into an iceberg but was able to complete its voyage, and good old Captain, not a fortune-teller Smith, had said that, quote, he could not imagine any condition which would cause a ship to founder. Modern shipbuilding has gone beyond that. So because this German boat was like, bink, oh shit, and they kept going, this guy's like, we're better than them. Fuck those icebergs.
Until you meet an iceberg that's bigger than your big-ass ship.
Just remember, in life, there will always be a bigger and better iceberg.
There's always a bigger fish.
Always. At 11:40 p.m. on April 14th, lookout Frederick Fleet spotted an iceberg ahead of Titanic and warned the bridge of its icy imminence. First Officer William Murdoch ordered the ship to be steered around the damn thing, and the engines started to reverse. Okay? But it was too fucking late.
Damn.
Yeah. The starboard side of Titanic raked across the iceberg, carving in a plethora of holes below the waterline. The iceberg didn't initially puncture the hull, but somewhat dented it, okay, so that it seems that the seams of it actually buckled and then separated, allowing, just seriously freezing water to just rush in.
What side is the starboard side, Dad?
That would be the right.
Very good. You know an easy way of knowing between port and starboard?
I've seen the movie, that's how I know.
Oh. just trying to give you a good...
No, but how?
So, port has 4 letters in it. Left has 4 letters in it. Left is port. Port is left.
But right has R-I-T-E. That's right. What are you talking about?
Anyways.
But wait, you said starboard. Starboard has 4. Oh, I get it because left. Ah, okay. That is the most obscure way to remember that.
But it's the, like, I play a lot
I probably will now.
Yeah,
but
you were going to now.
Only because it's so obscure.
But I play a lot of pirate games, so.
Arr.
Oh, yeah, all the time. I'll be like, oh, we're going to the port side. And they're like, which one is that? I'm like, port is 4 letters, left is 4 letters. Remember that to be all right. And they're like, oh, okay.
What do you call a pirate that pees on people? R. Kelly. Woo! Anyway, sorry about that. So 5 of the ship's allegedly watertight compartments, so 5 of these compartments that were supposed to be watertight, they were breached. And it soon became very apparent that the ship was absolutely screwed because it couldn't survive more than 4 flooded compartments.
Oh, shit.
The Titanic began sinking bow first, with water spilling from room to room as its angle in the water became steeper and steeper. The passengers and crew of Titanic were frighteningly unprepared for such a catastrophic emergency. Remember, they don't have enough lifeboats. They weren't really trained, and we'll talk about that here. But it's just... And by the end of this, I have my opinion, which we always talk about at the end. But I just think this was a shitstorm of a lot of different happenstance, dude.
Yep.
I really do.
Yep.
I don't think it was like one thing that did it. I think it was just like a culmination
of everything, yep.
So first, there weren't enough lifeboats, like we mentioned. With the ship being considered unsinkable, as mentioned before, they didn't equip it with the appropriate amount. Secondly, the crew was not trained adequately to carry out an evacuation. Of course, because they're like, it's not gonna sink. Get out of here. Captain, should I learn how to save people? No. Grab my whiskey. You little fuck. Anyway.
I need a Tom Collins pronto.
Now, where's the ice? Oh, it's so not funny, but it is. I'm sorry. The officers did not know how many they could safely put on the lifeboats, okay?
Right.
And in a panic, when they launched them, many of them were, like we said before, they were barely half full. So again, as they're throwing them down there, they don't know, okay, you can put, I don't know how many freaking 24, 48, whatever it is, people on a boat, and they're putting like 12, 20.
Right.
You know what I mean? Ugh. The poor and less socially prominent third-class passengers were mainly left to fend for them fucking selves. So that seems nice.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Causing many of them to become trapped below decks as the ship filled with water. It's fucking horrifying to me. Like, seriously, my heart's like about to out of my chest right now. The, quote, women and children first bullshit was generally followed when loading the lifeboats, and most male passengers and crew were left to their own devices. So thanks, ladies. Fuckers. I'm just kidding. I'm so totally kidding. So recently, like this year, author and expert on Titanic, Claes Goran Wetterholm.
Oh.
Yes. Claes Goran Wetterholm.
Do you think he introduces himself as Claes Goran, or do you think he's just Claes?
No, he's like, hello, I am CGW.
Oh, that's actually fucking badass.
You see what I'm saying?
That's badass.
See, you're welcome. So he said it was, quote, not true that women and children survived thanks to the gallantry of men, and that of the last survivors escaping on the final lifeboats leaving the starboard side of the ship, he said the majority were actually fucking men. Yeah. So they were just like, move, bitch. Fucking, move, bitch. Sorry, get out of the way. The kitchen's that way. Sorry. Totally kidding. However, according to records, women and children survived at about 75% and 50% respectively, while only 20% of men survived. And I'm not a mathematician, but fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So between 2:10 and 2:15, a little over 2.5 hours after the Titanic struck the iceberg, it began to sink faster as the boat deck dipped underwater and water poured in through open hatches and grates. The unsupported stern rose out of the water, exposing its propellers. That's the back end of here. The ship snapped into two main pieces between the second and third funnels due to the pressure on the keel, supposedly. And we'll talk about that. With the bow underwater and air trapped in the stern stayed afloat and buoyant for a few minutes longer, rising into the air to nearly a vertical angle, with hundreds of people still holding on for dear life before it dipped into the black watery abyss at 2:20 a.m.
Could you...
Dude, I'm sitting here like I'm...
Now, let me just make this even worse for you. Could you imagine being the first person on the lifeboat watching as this is going on?
I don't know. Are you relieved at that point, or are you in such shock. I guess
you know what I mean. Like I don't know how I would
don't-
have reacted in that situation.
What do you do?
What can you do? You know what I mean? Yeah, like
You're literally watching it'd be like watching a I don't know, explosion in a building. Like what are
watching like the Twin Towers and shit like
yeah,
that. Kind
like
of thing.
what do you do?
Like there's one that you can.
Fuck. Yeah.
It's insane to think about.
I don't like this. So initially, it was assumed that the ship sank in one piece. Okay, but we know that didn't happen.
Correct.
But the wreck's discovery decades later showed investigators that the vessel had entirely snapped in twain. All the remaining passengers and crew found themselves bathing in the deadly cold water at -2 degrees Celsius.
Oof.
That is 28 degrees freaking Fahrenheit. Okay,
The temperature outside right now.
That is below freezing.
Yeah.
That's. I couldn't even imagine.
I believe hypothermia would set in within like 30 to 45 minutes.
Well, that's not good.
No, like you're pretty much dead within an hour.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like if you're in the water for any longer.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because the freezing water typically causes death within minutes, right? Either from cardiac arrest, uncontrollable breathing of water, or cold incapacitation. I never even thought about the cardiac arrest because it's such a shock to your system, and you're freaking out as it is and not being able to breathe and everything else.
Sorry, 12-Foot Ninja's playing in my head right now.
What?
It's a shock to the system.
Oh boy, it's a good song.
It is.
So it's just you're talking worst fucking case scenario.
Oh, for sure.
It was commonly believed that it was all the people died from hypothermia, but that was not the case. Almost everyone in the water died of heart attacks or other bodily reactions from the freezing water within 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, dude, that is crazy.
Of the people that were in the water, only 5 of them were helped into the lifeboats, even though the lifeboats had room for almost 500 more people. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Distress signals were sent by radio, rockets, and lamps by rockets. They mean the like flare signal flares. Yeah. Still, none of the ships that responded were close enough to reach Titanic before it sank. Remember, they don't go that damn fast back then, and who knows how fucking far away they are from each other.
Or do we?
Or did they? Around 710 people survived the sinking and were taken by the ship Carpathia to New York. Titanic's, that's the original destination, obviously.
Right.
At least 1,500 men, women, and children lost their lives that fateful night. The last body from the sinking of Titanic recovered was James McGrady, a steward, who was body number 330 and was found by the chartered Newfoundland sealing vessel Algerine on May 22nd.
So there's almost 1,200 bodies that just were never found?
Only 333 bodies of the unfortunate Titanic victims were recovered, which equates to nearly 1 in 5 of the over 1,500 victims.
Oh.
Some bodies sank with the ship, while currents quickly rushed other bodies and pieces of wreckage across hundreds of miles, making them extremely hard to recover.
Okay, so this is going to be a really stupid and probably crude question.
I am all about those.
So, water is really cold up there. Probably doesn't get warm at all. Is there a good possibility that there's...
Well, I imagine it would get somewhat warm.
But like... I mean, I guess.
Because this is April, so you're coming out of winter. So like during the summer months, it's probably a little... I'd say...
All right.
And plus, the top is going to be a lot warmer because of currents and stuff like that. What was your question, though?
That if like you were to travel around that area, if you would still possibly find bodies after 100 years because they're frozen kind of thing?
Oh, no. Well, like if they froze and then like came up or something like that?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Be fucking whole.
I don't know, but I don't want to even imagine that.
It's such a morbid thought, but I
Oh,
so I always
boy.
wanted to go to Newfoundland. So I was like, maybe.
Yeah. Did you say Newfoundland?
Yeah. Newfoundland, whatever.
Oh, I didn't know there was an old Finland. Perhaps we should go there first. So by June, one of the last search ships sent out to look for the survivors and bodies reported that life jackets worn by victims and keeping their bodies afloat were disintegrating and releasing bodies to sink down into their black graves of the ocean floor.
Wow.
Yeah, so like they were literally the plastic, because they're basically plastic. But no, they were probably fabric then. So the fabric probably just disintegrated.
The salt and stuff,
and then your body just bloop, just down to the depths.
That makes sense why the new life jackets are usually covered in plastic, because it takes a lot longer for the salt to eat away.
Yeah, I would assume so. So I mean, So that's the basic synopsis. Obviously, most of you guys know that. You know what it is. Yeah, even just to that point. And thank God we're doing this next part because that is just so... The fact that was such a disheartening...
Travesty.
Well, just something that happened in our past, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's just... I could not imagine. I know a lot of people just talk about the Titanic, and of course we're making jokes to lighten things up a little bit. But that is... You're talking there's 1,200 people that are just never recovered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. Okay, so now we got that shit out. We need a palate cleanser, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna sit here and head into the conspiratorial waters. You get it?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Did you guys get it? I know you did. All right, so now there are a bunch.
There's so many. Some of them
so
were so
many.
stupid we didn't even want to add.
Yeah, there are so many of these, and there's some of them that I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
and then there's some of them like, no, come on.
Like this first one.
Okay, so one such conspiratorial theory here is that the ship that sank was actually Olympic, the Titanic's nearly identical sister ship. Remember we said before there was 3 of them, and this is one of them. The subject of a significant insurance scam.
Bam, bam, bam.
I gotta get that, seriously. Yeah. The conspiracy? Well, the 2 were covertly switched before the journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just a piece of tape over the RMS Titanic. It was RMS Olympic, but they just put a little piece of tape over it.
They're all boarding like, it's very odd. Why is it in spray paint? Don't... Wait, underneath, it looks like it says... Does that say... What does that say? So in his book, Titanic, the Ship That Never Sank, Robin Gardner proposed one of the more complex and sinister theories regarding the sinking of Titanic. Gardner detailed several occurrences and coincidences in the weeks, days, and hours before the ship's demise. Finally, he concluded that the big-ass boat that went down was Olympic, which had been used as a ruse by its owners. Those owners were the International Mercantile Marine Group, headed by American financier J.P. Morgan.
That rat bastard. Almost as bad as a Rothschild.
J.P. stands for... I don't have it. He's rich. All right. That dude was loaded. I mean, it was like... back then it was...
With the Rockefeller.
Rockefeller, for sure.
Rockefeller.
And this guy,
J.P.
dude.
Morgan.
Jesus. Who purchased the White Star Line, that's the mother line of the Titanic and all the sister ships, in 1902. That ruse, obviously, was to obtain insurance money. In their book, Olympic and Titanic, The Truth Behind the Conspiracy, many of Gardner's theories were refuted by researchers Bruce Beveridge and Steve Hall. The switch theory has also been called bullshit by author Mark Chirnside. According to British historian Gareth Russell. Hello. Gareth Russell.
I don't like the first name. It sounds like he has a lisp.
Gareth.
It's like supposed to be like Garrett, but it's like, hi, I'm Gareth.
Hello, I am British historian Gareth Russell. Would you like to hear the story
of the Titanic?
So anyway, his argument is, he basically says that the argument from this other guy, this is amazing, by the way, is, quote, so excruciatingly stupid. I fucking love the British. My God. That one can only mourn the thousands of trees that perished while providing the paper on which it was articulated.
That's cold.
They're so poignant. I love that shit. According to him, it would be difficult to secretly transfer the sister ships in a week because of their vastly different interior architecture and designs. The ship's owners could have easily damaged the ship, trying to switch it out. At the same time, it was docked, for example, by starting a fire or whatever, and received the insurance proceeds from that accident, which would have, quote, would have been far less severe and infinitely less stupid than sailing her out into the middle of the Atlantic with thousands of people and their luggage on board and ramming her into an iceberg.
Yeah, I kind of have to leave with that. That's
right. So he's just saying, like, you could have easily damaged it where it was sitting.
Yeah.
Somebody could have, quote unquote, I don't know, blew it up.
Or, Robert Downey Jr. could have been fighting this really big guy and it just kind of flew out into the river and sank. That was a Sherlock Holmes reference, but anyways.
I actually love those movies.
Oh my God, so
I do. I heard he's making a third one.
Yes, I heard the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And they're bringing him back as well, too.
Oh, sweet.
RDJ.
Sweet.
Supposedly.
Sweet. Sweet.
Well, that, and you're going to be really excited for the next movie that's coming out that I'm really excited for.
The next movie?
Yeah.
What?
Rush Hour 4.
nuh-uh.
It's confirmed
With
Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker.
Oh, you're going to say Kurt Russell? That's a different movie right there. That's
Chris
awesome.
Tucker, yeah.
Do you want to say any words that are coming out of my mouth? Sorry, I had to get that out. So some folks on this next one have argued that Titanic was sunk by an outside force rather than an iceberg because it was supposed to be an engineering marvel. What was this external force, you may be asking? Well, King Poseidon.
Well, yeah, he threw a fucking iceberg at it.
Ha! Well, the great Olympian god of the sea and king of the sea gods. The great king saw the massive boat and said, "Nope!" and smacked it with one solid whack of his huge serpent wiener, causing it to sink.
It's a cold dick.
Yes. Okay, get it. Not buying that? Okay, well, that's fine. How about a torpedo from a German submarine? The Germans!
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, Logan.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great.
You know what I love?
Me?
Of course. And I love beer.
Oh, my God, same.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I love craft beer.
Yes.
And there's nothing better than a good craft beer, especially when you're trying something new from different breweries and whatnot.
Of course.
It's awesome. And guess what?
What?
Our listeners can now sign up for the Craft Beer Club.
No way.
Yeah, buddy. And right now, you can go to our website, themidnighttrainpodcast.com, click on sponsor deals, and in there, you're going to find yourself a chance to save $30 off of 12 shipments of 12 beers per shipment.
Wow.
Yeah. Or save $60 off of 12 shipments of 24 beers per shipment. That's a whole case.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of beer.
That's good.
A lot of good beer. Plus, guess what?
What?
Free shipping.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Craft Beer Club. I mean, I'm in.
I'm already signing up.
Right?
Right.
We should totally do that. And we want you to sign up as well. So get on over to our website, themidnighttrainpodcast.com, and get yourself some beer. Speaking of, where's my beer? So according to the Huffington Post, several survivors, including both passengers and crew members, when questioned by a U.S. Senate, an inquiry panel from the U.S. Senate, testified that they never felt any impact or heard any sound when the collision occurred, suggesting it was minor in nature. Which, okay, just to pause that real quick. If you're on a boat and you're going 20 miles an hour, that's not very fast.
That's not very fast, but it's a big-ass boat.
Right, right. And then all of a sudden, you hit an iceberg.
And it's cold, so ice is almost like metal.
Right. And
by
here,
the by.
but here's my, I guess I'm just talking this out as we on the show right now. Sorry, folks.
Okay.
But they did say that initially it didn't actually it caused a couple of holes, but it more bent things.
Okay.
So it's not like it just completely carved something out. So it's not like it hit it that extremely hard, and it went kind of broadside on it too. So
right.
maybe you wouldn't feel that. I don't know.
I mean, if the ship's big enough, maybe, and if everybody was on the other side of the ship, you know what I mean? Maybe. But I feel like if you're below deck, you're still going to hear
the captain's up there like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Everybody, if you go to the left side of the boat, that would be the what is it? Hold on. Left is, oh shit, L-E-F-T. That's 4 letters. Star has 4 letters. Starboard side. That's the starboard side, right? No, I'm wrong. Shit. Anyway, go to the left over there and don't see it. Ah, fuck! Sorry. So, however, they reported having heard 4 quote-unquote reports or explosions deep in the bowels of the Titanic after it had scraped the iceberg.
Oh.
These could conceivably been torpedoes launched by a German submarine.
Ah.
Okay, now this is, I mean, it could.
Yes.
Could have been.
It could.
Could have been.
Yes.
And maybe those explosions might have been them actually hitting the iceberg, though. You know what I mean?
Because the icebergs are typically bigger under the water because they're
Correct.
not exposed to all the heat and the elements and stuff. So it could have jetted out and smacked the ass of it.
Thus the saying, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Sometimes the tip is too much.
Just the tip. So, moreover, several survivors huddled in lifeboats observed a searchlight in the distance. Oh. Encouraging them that a rescue vessel was approaching. This light had been attributed to the Californian, a ship that was supposedly in the area. But that ship's captain, Stanley Lord, insisted that it was not his and that there was another vessel between his and Titanic.
Oh.
Indeed, his craft was mired in a colossal ice field and forced to remain there until daylight.
Mired means stranded, meaning that you're stuck in the ice.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
Captain Thesaurus. Anyway, several sailors on watch asserted that they witnessed an unidentified vessel approximately 5 to 6 miles away until about 2 a.m., possibly a submarine that had surfaced to assess the damage it had caused. after which time it just took the fuck off. For the record, this was not the Carpathia. That's the one that came and picked everybody up.
Got ya.
Which arrived on the scene later to, assist the rescue survivors here. Now, and again, maybe.
So, I mean, like...
Because when was World War I?
Started 1917.
Right. So...
I mean, it was a couple years after.
It is possible. I mean... It is possible.
I mean, we did get into World War I because a certain country that will not be named kind of attacked one of the ships that carried a lot of U.S. passengers on it, and it starts with a Z. And that's what
the country?
No,
Zimbabwe.
No.
Oh shit.
the boat that was sank.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
It was the smaller cruise liner, I think, is what it was, or a passenger boat.
Who's the country that you said?
Well, Germany sent a telegram to Mexico to have Mexico do it, and
the Mexicans did that.
Supposedly.
You sons of bitches! I liked you guys up until just now.
Supposedly.
Of course, I'm kidding. We love you guys. So, I mean, it is possible, okay, that mystery craft could have been a German sub, as Germany's the U-boat technology was highly perfected at this time.
Yes.
And their subs were scanning the North Atlantic at this time. Because you got to remember, just because we were not involved and World War II hadn't started, they were still planning it, and this is just a couple years ahead of time. Okay? So it's very possible, because the Führer, because I hate that asshole. I bet he did it. Stupid prick.
I mean, he fought in the World War I, but he wasn't there when it started. Just saying.
Who? Well, no, he was a chancellor and stuff beforehand. Like he was.
He actually fought in World War I, though.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like the entire ideology of that was happening before, before whole, well, that was World War II anyway. Yes. But I'm just saying, like,
which I think started in 1914, if I'm not mistaken. So technically, was a year after everything went down because we ended in 1919. Yeah.
Anyway, there was tensions brewing. Okay?
Yes.
So the sub may have deliberately targeted the luxury liner or accidentally collided with it.
Oh.
Okay. Very possible. It should be noted that a German U-boat sank the famed Lusitania just 3 years later.
That's what it was.
That's not a Z.
Sounds like it. Lusitania. Yeah. See, there's a Z in there.
It's Lusitania. That's a S.
You spelled it wrong.
Yeah. So anyway, that one to me at least has a tinge of possibility to it.
Yeah.
A tinge.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was torpedoed, would you see like burns and stuff, because it is underwater where it hit technically, right? I mean, or was it? No, it was above. I don't know. No, it was right below. Below the water line.
Yeah. I mean, technically you would see that, but after however many years it was underwater before they actually found it, it could have.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So it's not like they got there right on the scene and was like, aha!
Right. Like it was quite a long time afterwards.
Now this next one,
that's 100% true.
Huh?
100% true.
Well, just wait for this, because I mean, but I'm telling them.
Oh, okay.
This is amazing. So, was Titanic cursed by an Egyptian mummy?
Just,
I mean,
right out of it.
Who am I? You know what I mean? I don't know. The Titanic's mummy curse is an urban legend, possibly based on Amun-Ra's priestess, who lived in 1050 BC. According to legend, after her discovery in Egypt in the 1890s, the purchaser of the mummy ran into grave misfortune. The mummy was then reportedly donated to the British Museum, which supposedly continued to cause mysterious problems for visitors and staff.
Oh, no.
She loved to play hide and seek.
That's supposedly what happened. Wait, what?
The mummy. She like, they'd go to, like, at night, lock up, and they're like, oh, shit. And she's, like, hiding behind shit. Yeah.
I would love to see a movie like that.
And they just followed the dust trail. And
that would be an amazing movie idea. It's like Night at the Museum.
I have so many good ideas.
Let's make a movie.
Come on, Hollywood.
The Midnight Train podcast brings you The Mummy, Hide and Seek.
Or Bollywood. Let's go, man.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Seriously.
We'll get some music numbers in there.
Absolutely. I'm in. I am all in. So the mummy was eventually purchased by journalist William, and it just says William. I don't know. So apparently that's either his first or last name.
Or it's W.I. Liam.
Oh, it's Will I Am. It's the guy from the Black Eyed Keys. Yes,
the Black Eyed Keys.
The Black Eyed Keys. Who dismissed a curse's claims, the claims as just circumstance. It's just quirks. It's bullshit. However, the legend claims that he arranged for the mummy to be hidden under his car. Okay, he feared it would be taken aboard the Titanic because of its dark reputation. Yes, he was actually taking the mummy with him, and he hid it under his car because he was just worried that people would be like, the fuck is that?
Is that a dead body?
Is that a mummy? I'm not even mad.
It's kind of impressive.
Yeah. In addition, he reportedly revealed to other passengers the mummy's presence the night before the accident. So, of course, he's like drunk as shit, like, I've gotten in the car, right? Can't tell anybody. I swear. I've got a mummy. You got a what? Shh. 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 I've got a mummy. You want to say it?
You want to touch it?
No, you can't touch it. They say it's cursed. So official records, however, state that the British Museum never received the mummy, only the lid of its sarcophagus, which is now on display at the museum and known as the Unlucky Mummy. Additionally, except during war and special exhibits abroad, the coffin lid has not left the Egyptian room.
Really?
They keep that fucker under lock and kizzy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they already lost half of it.
Like the important part. Yeah. So how about a creepy premonition? Yeah? You in? All right.
After the mummy thing, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know nothing really tops the mummy thing.
No,
for sure.
Never.
In 1898, the author Morgan Robertson wrote a fictional story called The Wreck of the Titan. He told the story of a Titan ship that had hit an iceberg, and there was a lack of lifeboats on his ship. This is 1898. Robertson claimed to be psychic and inspired the story from his psychic abilities.
Aha.
So it's a premonition.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of listeners of our pastors probably have heard this whole thing or whatever. But to me, it's still like pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So although the novel was written before the Olympic-class Titanic was designed, some remarkable similarities exist between the fictional and real-life counterparts. For example, just like the Titanic, the fictional ship sank in April in the North Atlantic, and there were not enough lifeboats for the passengers.
It's like a Jules Verne thing, isn't it? Isn't it the guy who wrote like the 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea and then like Us Going to the Moon and shit like that?
Do you know there's a band in Cleveland called 10,000 Leagues Under My Nutsack?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Yep, I swear to God.
10,000 Leagues Under My Nutsack? Are they like a death metal band?
They're pretty awesome. Like the guy, it's basically one guy, and it's so funny. Yeah,
I have to listen to this now.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Anyway, sorry. So anyway, what were you saying? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
I lost my train of thought too.
You were saying Jules Verne.
Oh yeah. I forgot where I was going with that. Yeah. So Jules Verne, wasn't that like the same time as well too, like the late 1800s, where he was writing about like a submarine that was going down in the depths of the ocean and stuff like that. Then us going to the moon and
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not up on my Jules Verne.
Jules Verne's awesome.
Okay, I do have a really weird story though, and just because I'm
does
sorry.
it pertain to nutsacks and 10,000 leagues underneath them?
No.
Damn.
However, a friend of mine way back in the day, every time he would fart, he would make a name for it, whatever the fart sounded like. Oh, and I remember distinctly one day he farted and he was like, "Oh, did you hear that one? It was Jules Verne." I don't know why that stuck with me. As a kid, I was a kid. Oh, it's so stupid. Anyway, so it's still really weird that this guy had this premonition and wrote the book. Like,
right.
So it's not like he just came out afterwards and was like, "Oh, I had this dream." No, he wrote this book about this. There are also similarities between the size. Okay, 800 foot for the Titan versus. By the way, it was called the fucking Titan.
It's pretty close.
Yeah,
yeah. It's just missing 2 letters.
Right. The ick.
the ick.
It's Titan. I see. Which is the Titanic was 882.5 foot long. Its speed was 25 knots for Titan and 23 knots for Titanic.
Oh, we had it in here.
Yeah, I know. I'm just wait for it.
Yeah.
And, of course, the lack of the life-saving equipment.
Interesting.
Right. So let's go through some similarities between, some more similarities here between Titanic and Titan.
Gotcha.
Okay. First, it's unsinkable.
Well, no, first is it's missing 2 letters.
Well, yeah. Well, that's not a similarity. That'd be a difference.
Okay, the similarity is Titan is in Titanic.
Correct. There you go. Yes. It's unsinkable. So the Titanic was, of course, the world's largest luxury liner. Let's see, displacing 53,000 long tons.
That's a lot of tons.
I'm assuming that's water, correct? Like that's how many tons of water it's displacing as it moves, and like through the water. Isn't that what that would mean?
Yeah.
boy. And once was described as being unsinkable, of course. The Titan was the largest craft afloat and the greatest of the works of men, of course, displacing 75,000 tons, and was considered unsinkable. Lifeboats. The Titanic carried only 20 lifeboats, less than the half number required for her passenger capacity of 3,000. The Titan carried, quote, as few as the law allowed, 24 lifeboats, less than half needed for her 3,000-person capacity.
Interesting.
It was struck on an iceberg, right? They both hit an iceberg. Moving too fast at 23 knots, the Titanic struck an iceberg on the night of April 14th of 1912 in the North Atlantic, 400 miles away from Terra Nova.
That's a great show.
Terra Nova?
Yeah. About dinosaurs.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Little arms. Not that one.
a big head, little arms.
On an April night in North Atlantic, 400 miles from Newfoundland, Terra Nova. Okay. The Titan hit an iceberg while traveling at 25 knots. The Unsinkable sank. The Unsinkable sank. What? The Unsinkable Titanic sank. What? That was really weirdly written. In more than half of her 2028. We know how many people passed away on that one. The Indestructible Titan. Oh, so the other one's the Unsinkable Titanic. This one is the Indestructible Titan.
Yes.
Also sank in this book. More than half of her 2,500 to 3,000, because it just said that a minute ago. Passengers drowning, quote, their voices raised in agonized screams. That is seriously terrifying. So anyway, I'm going to go through the differences here, too, just to kind of like differentiate here. But how weird is that?
Yeah.
All I think in my head is that we're talking about in 1898, right? And this in, I don't have that, like when I had it in here, but when they actually started building it, so it's probably like late 1900s to early 1900s, right? Maybe mid 1900, right? 1910? No. How long it took to build Titanic is what I'm saying. I thought I had it in here.
It was like 10 or 15 years it took them to make it, but yeah.
Is it possible they got the idea
from him?
From this book?
There's a large possibility. Or did they get the idea to make the insurance claim because they read this book?
Aha! Yeah. See that? We fucking solve shit, dude.
Dude, we're fucking amazing.
We are fucking solving shit left and right. Damn it.
Why aren't we making more money on this?
Wait, we make money?
Yeah.
Thank you, Patreon. I got toilet paper yesterday.
It was single ply.
It's single ply. It's like sandpaper on my bunghole, but it's all right. All right, differences here. The Titan does not strike the iceberg. It's a glancing blow to a clear night, as is the case of Titanic, but drives headlong into an ice shelf, possibly formed by the recent overturning of an iceberg, rising and falling on her side. Okay, so it's kind of a different.
Yeah.
The Titanic hit the iceberg in perfect sailing conditions, while the Titan hit the iceberg in bad, misty, and foggy conditions. Okay. 705 people aboard the Titanic were saved, while only 13 of those aboard the Titan survived.
Oh,
remember that's supposed to be fiction. So the Titanic sank on her maiden voyage, while the Titan had made several voyages. Titanic sank while sailing from England to the U.S. Titan was traveling in the opposite direction. The Titan sinks a ship before. Oh wait, the Titan. What? The Titan sinks a ship before. Oh, the Titan sinks another ship before hitting the ice. The Titanic came close to an accident with the New York, but not actually hit it. I didn't know that he actually came close to hitting another fucking ship.
Huh?
The people in New York was like, call the Germans. Fuckers almost hit us. Sorry.
This is so good.
The Titan had sails to improve her speed. Titanic did not, and could a fire, had led to. We're going into the fire part or whatever. So, anyway, those are the differences.
Yeah.
Okay. But the similarities are eerily
it's a little weird.
Similar, dude. That is
J.P. Morgan.
That is crazy.
He was trying to make a bank, so he had to get money from somewhere. So that makes sense why he did this.
I mean, dude, I don't know. I don't know.
Because that's why I was so curious about
we talk about that here in a minute, too.
Fire aboard the ship. Like, it makes sense like it happened a few days prior to it being sent out, but for it to still be happening while it's on there.
Well, I don't think they could get it out. Allegedly they couldn't get it out. Yeah,
but I'm sorry, but you couldn't take care of that before boarding passengers?
Well, they didn't want to lose money. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but yeah, I mean, dude, and we talk about that in a second, so we'll get to that. Yeah. But there is also another book too, and this is more of a paranormal story than a conspiracy idea, but it's still important to talk about.
Yes.
How the Atlantic Mail Steamer Went Down is a short story by eminent British author William T. Stead, that was released in 1886. Okay, so even further back. Its plot is uncannily similar to the Titanic tragedy. A mail steamer collides with another ship in the Atlantic. What? Unfortunately, a lack of lifeboats on board leads to a significant death toll. Stead traveled on the Titanic for over 10 years later. Okay, so the guy who wrote this story about a ship going down and not having enough fucking lifeboats. Okay, but, okay, hold on. Let me finish my, whatever. According to legend, he actually perished in the collision, but shortly after, a medium actually channeled his ghost and got to talk to him. So, but he died on the Titanic.
Yeah, that's pretty.
After having
written this
story about this thing going down. But I feel that's, yeah, it's weird and it's quirky, but I feel like at the time, obviously, they didn't give a fuck about the fucking lifeboats. It wasn't like, they had somebody going, no, you have to have a spot for every single person on the ship.
They didn't have an OSHA or,
right, exactly.
FDA back then. It was just whatever we can to get by.
Right. So that one, I don't know, it's a little far-fetched. It is crazy that he had that dream and then went down on that. Can you fucking imagine
having that and be like, God damn it, I knew it.
Right. Like, dude, come on.
So, I'm sorry I didn't listen.
Yeah. So here's one I hadn't heard of. The Samson, a Norwegian ship used for seal hunting, may have been nearby the Titanic as it sank, according to one theory here. So remember the earlier mention of the searchlights. We talked about searchlights up there. Yes. They thought maybe it was the U-boats or whatever it was. Some people think that the Samson is where these lights came from. The ship was hunting in territorial waters when a crew member reported seeing rockets heading toward the catastrophe. Still, the distress signals were disregarded because the ship was in those areas at the time. The crew learned that they had left the Titanic much later. Okay? So basically what that's saying is that they could have helped.
Yes.
But because they were illegally hunting seals.
Yes. And
seal is plural for that.
Seal. No, seals. Seals.
Seal?
Yeah, seals.
Is it?
It's not like moose. Well, you can't get meeses or mooses. It's a moose.
It's seal. Baby! Sorry. However, so they didn't help out because, they thought they were going to. But don't you think, and I have something to rebuke that here for a second, but don't you think that if they were like, okay, listen, we just saved a fuck ton of people. Yes, we were killing seals. Yes, my bad.
But they were hunting in waters they were not allowed to be in, on top of hunting seals.
But we just saved a bunch of rich folk. I was going to say rich folk, and I said fuck at the same time, just so used to it. But they literally could have saved all these people. You're trying to tell me that those rich people that they could have saved, they didn't know they were rich people, even though, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I would have taken the chance.
But I mean, all you saw was the flares going off, and.
But wouldn't you have gone over to? But okay. So I guess at the time maybe you didn't know what was happening. Maybe they thought it was the popo.
Right.
I don't know. Is there water popo?
I mean,
is that the Navy? Did they have the Navy back then?
Could have been.
In the Navy. I don't know. Anyway, how my brain works. I actually took my Adderall on my way here.
Really?
Woo! So, however, records show that the ship was likely in a port in Iceland, so that information doesn't really lend itself to a grand conspiracy idea. But does it? Because couldn't they have forged those because they didn't want to get in trouble for being there?
And they literally have crewmen that reported seeing this all take place. So they just didn't want to get in trouble at the time and then realized, oh, fuck, we could have saved thousands of people.
Oh, yeah. You know
shit,
what I mean? Could you fucking imagine?
Like, you're not going to get in trouble after the fact because technically on paper you were where you were supposed to be, but if you were there and mentioned that you were there, that's a heavy fucking burden to have, man.
Yeah. And again, that's just a conspiracy that people think that someone could have been there to help out, not really the sinking of it. So some conspiracies contend that the Titanic was deliberately sunk to crush opposition to the founding of the Federal Reserve Bank. Okay?
Yeah.
Now listen. Several of the wealthiest men in the world, including John Jacob Astor IV.
I thought it was John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
If you can say it again incorrectly, I'll laugh at it.
John Jacob Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Hey!
His name was my
Yeah, I
name
laughed.
too.
Also, Benjamin Guggenheim. Why is that funny? I'm assuming it has something to do with the Guggenheim Museum.
Yeah, that
The
makes sense.
Guggenheim. And Isidor Strauss were supposedly opposed to establishing a U.S. central bank.
I like that name.
Right?
Isidore.
Isidor. Ooh.
It's door.
What is that place you walked in from? Isidor. Sorry. Anyway, so they were opposed to establishing a U.S. centralized bank, okay?
Yeah.
Well, they were on board the Titanic on her maiden voyage. All of them together. According to conspiracy theories, J.P. Morgan, the 74-year-old millionaire who founded the investment banking company that bears his name, planned for the men to board the ship and then have it sunk to kill them. Not for an insurance claim, to get rid of his opposition.
I mean...
But, two birds, one stone, dude. Hey, Logan.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's great.
Great. Question.
Yeah.
Do you like wine?
I love wine.
Yeah. We're big wine drinkers in my house, as you very well know.
Oh, of course.
And I like all kinds of different sorts of wine.
Same.
And if our passengers tend to be the same way, guess what?
What?
We actually have a deal to save them some money.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. You can actually sign up for the Gold Medal Wine Club wine sale right now. You can save up to 51% off award-winning and hard-to-find wines. 3-bottle minimum. You can mix and match your favorites with free shipping on 12 bottles or more. I mean, that's amazing.
That's a good deal.
Stock up on your wine. Save some money. Just head on over to the MidnightTrainPodcast.com, click on Sponsor Deals, scroll your little fingers down to the bottom, find that beautiful wine club in there, click on it, and be magically whisked away to the land of wine.
Do it.
I like wine.
Now you're making money off of killing people that would have taken your money, so now you're doubling your money.
You're doubling down hard. Real hard.
And J.P. Morgan is a pretty smart dude.
Yeah, well, yeah.
This could be the greatest conspiracy that may have actually taken place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's fucking crazy.
So Morgan, known as the Napoleon of Wall Street, was credited with preserving the American financial system during the Panic of 1907 and helped found General Electric, U.S. Steel, and International Harvester. In other words, he has more money than Jeebus. Had. He's no longer with us, but his family will never go without. We'll just put it that way. For eternity.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. But I've heard some really shady goings on with that. Like J.P. Morgan and the whole. Yeah. He's got some shit. We should do a bonus on him one of these days.
We're going to do a few bonuses on a few of the heads of banking industries here soon. Don't worry. There's more information coming out about certain people. So
remember earlier I said I would not kill myself, just so you guys know that, okay?
Yeah.
Just in case. I would not do that, ever.
I am in perfect mental health.
Yes, I am. I wouldn't say that. Not me. I'm definitely not in perfect mental health.
Perfect to my standards.
Yeah, but I would never do that. So if we do that episode and something happens, I did not take myself out.
You did not unalive yourself.
Correct. I did not Clinton myself. Anyway. Sorry. The Federal Reserve was founded in part thanks to J.P. Morgan, of course, who also owned the International Mercantile Marine, which in turn owned the White Star Line and the Titanic. We talked about that earlier. Morgan had been present at the Titanic's 1911 launch. Oh, this is fucked up, by the way. And had reserved a VIP apartment on it with a private promenade deck and a bathroom with specialty-made cigar holders. How badass is that? I want one of those.
How badass is it to not only have that done, but also this is the very first ship of its kind. And if I'm going to be on board your ship, I need custom cigar holders in my lounge.
But again, with one of the first things I said is that they focused on luxury, and I mean those cigar holders could have bought a couple lifeboats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like fuck the fucking cigar holders. You know what I mean? I mean, hindsight, obviously. So he apparently had a reservation on the ship's inaugural voyage, the very first and only one, but he changed his plans and stayed in the French resort town of
Alabama.
Hamburger. Hamburger. Sorry. This is amazing, to take sulfur baths and massages every morning.
I mean, that is pretty smart.
Sounds pretty good. So the conspiracy theorists out there believe that he was aware of the ship's fate because of his last-minute cancellation.
Well, to void himself of any misdeeds or misdoings at the time, I invested in a part of the ship, and I also reserved a room on there. Oh, but you know what? I had something come up. I just can't make it.
My sciatic. My sciatic. I can't go on the boat. My sciatic's killing me. But didn't they say they have like massage parlors and shit on the boat though as well?
But they don't have sulfur baths, so that's what's going to help us sciatic out.
Sulfur baths.
Yes.
That smells like shit, I bet.
It smells like rotten eggs.
Yes.
That's what one would believe.
Satan would know all about that.
Oh.
I wonder he has sulfur baths down there. Ooh,
I wonder, is that part of the treatment while you're down there?
Sounds to me like it's part of the pain while you're down there. Does it burn? I got to get a hold of him. He's been on vacation. The holidays, he's weird. Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah, like I haven't even, like, he hasn't texted me back in, like, I don't know, about a week.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very unlike him.
I'm sure he's fine. But then again, Santa, Satan, it's kind of all...
Oh.
Listen, we're conspiracy corner right now, dude.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
Damn.
He might be Santa Claus.
Dude, you got to watch this fucking show, and I've been telling you to watch it for a while, but that Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah.
They have a Santa episode where it's not Santa. It's this fucking demon-esque monster who...
Krampus?
No.
Oh.
Even worse. Who literally, like, he throws up presents, but he can sense the niceness in kids, and it's like talks like this the entire time. It's like, naughty, nice. And then he'll, like, kiss the nice kids, and he'll eat the bad kids.
I'm going to ask that you never do that voice again.
I'm
just going to ask.
Was it terrifying?
Yeah, but just don't do that again. Okay, thanks, because I'm already going to have trouble sleeping tonight. So, appreciate you.
Sorry.
All right, so the next one coming up here is, and I do want to watch that, by the way. I keep seeing it, and I need to watch it.
So good.
The next one here, and we kind of mentioned this earlier, and we were talking about the watertight doors of Titanic. Yes. Okay, and there's another theory involved with this. So in this one, we're going to kind of go into this because it's kind of scientific how they proved and disproved this whole thing.
Yeah.
So according to this theory, if these doors had been opened, Titanic might have stabilized and remained afloat long enough for the rescue ships to actually show up and help everybody. But for two reasons, this theory has been disproven. Okay. First, since the first four compartments were watertight by nature, it was impossible to reduce the amount of water significantly in the bow. Okay, that's just how they were made.
Right.
Secondly, here calculations by Bedford and Hackett have demonstrated that the Titanic would have capsized if there had been any significant water behind boiler room number 4, which would have happened around 30 minutes earlier than the actual time of the sinking. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. In addition, the flooding of the boiler rooms would have caused the lighting to go out roughly 70 minutes after the crash. Additionally, Bedford and Hackett examined the hypothetical situation where there were no bulkheads.
Right.
The ship would have sunk at that point, roughly 70 minutes before it actually went down.
Oh.
And lighting would not have been present for another 40 minutes following the crash.
Gotcha.
Okay? Because, I mean, that's where all their lights and stuff came from, was down there. That's where their, like, generator, I guess it had to be a generator at that point, right?
Technically.
They have generators in 1912?
It wasn't considered a generator. It was considered an engine that powered the lights, but in reality, it's a generator.
Probably all candlelight. God. Maybe that's what happened. We got to put this fucker out!
Oh, no, the kerosene!
So later, the Discovery Channel did some model simulations that, again, refuted this notion in a 1998 documentary titled Titanic Secrets Revealed. The simulation showed that opening Titanic's watertight doors would have caused the ship to capsize more than a half an hour before it actually sank, supporting, the results of the earlier results here. The reasons and mechanisms for the ship's disintegration were still up for debate, by the scholars and people that, are all into Titanic here. Before taking her final fall, Titanic, according to Walter Lord's book, A Night to Remember, assumed a, quote, completely perpendicular position. And that's this way.
Well, it's this way with the water level like this, therefore it's going to look like a plus sign.
It's straight up and down.
It is straight up and down.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
Titanic was confirmed to have split into...
Entwined.
Twide.
Oh.
A split is their own twide. It's from Robin Hood Men in Tights. Drink up. Anyway, so it's split into, or at least near the surface.
Right.
Okay, so like close at least to, and if you've seen the movie, that part's like pretty spot on as far as they know.
Yeah, from the survivor's point of view or whatever. Yeah.
And that's by the discovery from Robert Ballard. Okay, of the wreck in 1985. When they actually found the damn thing. Still, paintings by renowned marine artist Ken Marshall and the depiction of the ship in James Cameron's film Titanic showed the ship reaching a steep angle. Okay, because remember, it said it did go like this a little bit, and then it went back down.
Right.
Before the breakup. It's like they're having a bad relationship.
Yeah.
The front half's like, I'm leaving. You can't leave. I'll die without you. That's so bad. So most academics agree that Titanic's aft expansion joint, intended to allow for hull flexing in a seaway, okay, to give it a little bit of a
bend.
a little bend,
Yes.
had little to zero impact on how the ship actually broke apart. At the same time, disagreement lingered over whether the vessel had broken from top down or bottom up.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So two substantial chunks of the Titanic's keel, which made up the part of the ship's bottom that extended directly below the point of the breach, were examined by a History Channel, we love those guys, mission to the crash site in 2005. The team examined the wreckage with the help of naval architect Roger Long and created a revised breakup theory, which was made public in the 2006 television documentary, Titanic's Final Moments, Missing Pieces.
Yes.
Now, this new idea made it clear that the angle of Titanic at the moment of its demise was far smaller than previously thought.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, according to Long, it was no more than 11 degrees.
Right, which really isn't that.
You're like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they can see what we're doing right now.
Right.
I'm lifting my hand like I know what I'm talking about. So Long also believed that the premature breakdown of Titanic's after expansion joint may have started the ship's breakup and ultimately increased the number of fatalities by forcing the ship to sink far more faster than they expected it to.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what we're talking about, the vortex. The very end. That'd be fucked up if we did that. Dives on Britannic, the older ship of the Titanic, were sponsored by the History Channel in 2006, proving that Britannic's expansion joints were better designed than those used on Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The History Channel hired JMS Engineering to create a new computer simulation to investigate Long's theory even further. The simulation's findings, which were presented in the 2007 film Titanic's Achilles Heel, partially dispelled Long's concerns by showing that the expansion joints on Titanic were strong enough to withstand any stresses the ship might reasonably be expected to experience in service, and that during the sinking, they even exceeded their design requirements. So they actually outperformed what they were supposed to.
Which makes no more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
The expansion joints were a component of the superstructure, which was located above the strength deck, which is the B deck.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's where everything is like, it's very tensile there, and like, it's got its strength, and, you know? Strong like bull.
Oh.
I'm B deck.
That's why it's called a bull deck, right?
No, it's big dick. Ha ha. They have to say B deck because big dick, everyone gets insulted. Anyway, sorry. And thus above the top of the structural hull girder, okay, and that's what they say is the most significant of this whole thing. As a result, the expansion joints were useless for supporting the hull. They had nothing to do with the hull breaking. Okay, the hull simply flexed or split beneath them, causing them to open up and separate.
I mean, makes sense if it was coming out of the water at a certain angle.
Right.
It's kind of.
So the expansion joint theory is supported in the 2008 book Titanic's Last Secrets by Brad Mattson. And one common thing left out is that when the hull started to actually like stress and starting to bend a little bit, the forward expansion joint, kind of what we're talking about here, over which multiple, they have funnel stays, like it's like, little funnels, like little port parts.
Yes.
They passed open, where those things passed, they opened up, causing the first funnel to fall at a relatively shallow angle. Okay, so really it kind of was like, boop.
Yes.
Look, boop. I'm sure it wasn't boop.
No,
Weird.
it wasn't.
The stays were stretched and fractured by the joint's opening. The ship's forward speed caused the unsupported funnel to topple into the starboard bridge wing as she it suddenly lurched forward and downward. Okay?
Makes sense.
So it may have actually landed on an ice shelf below the waterline as it crashed when it hit the iceberg.
Right.
Perhaps harming the keel and underbelly. So in other words, like it may have actually, there may have been a thing of ice underneath,
right?
Which may have actually, when it hit the iceberg, it may have actually fucked up the underneath the hull, the hull.
Yeah.
The hull. So which may have actually fucked it up there too. And this is one idea that might explain the hull's fracture. Okay, so boiler room 4 flooded from below the floor grates rather than from over the top of the watertight bulkhead, as was discovered later on, during the sinking. And this would be compatible with additional keel damage, compromising the hull's integrity. So in other words, that wasn't it.
Right.
Right. They did their job. It was fine.
Yep.
The shit they built on there, in fact, like they were saying, a lot of this shit actually outperformed what it was supposed to.
Right.
So here's one for you, and this one's, we kind of touched on this a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Remember that fire that was burning in the boiler room for like 10 days and then for 4 fucking days afterwards or whatever?
I forget.
Yeah. So obviously, as we talked about before, 10 days before the ship's departure, a fire broke out in one of the coal bunkers, raging there for several days. Onboard steamships, fires obviously frequently broke out due to the coal's spontaneous combustion. Fire hoses shifting the coal on top of another bunker and moving the burning coal and feeding it into the furnace were all necessary to put out the fires. Right, we said that.
Mm-hmm.
Some writers believe that this incident led to the fire, which decreased the structural integrity of the hull and a crucial bulkhead, exacerbating the impact of the iceberg collision. Remember what I said? It's a culmination of things. Is it possible that it being so hot and that fire, excuse me, could have messed up the weaken the hull?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
That would be exactly what fire would do.
Right. Duh. This hypothesis was made in 2011 by David J.H. Smith in his book, The Titanic's Mummy, which examined the incident in a docudrama style. The bunker fire was said to be the cause of the eventual catastrophe, and it was claimed that choices taken to, due to the fire, put the ship on a collision course with the iceberg. Yeah. So now, this is kind of fucked up. So how they handled the fire, they're saying may have actually kind of forced it to accidentally go and hit the iceberg.
Right.
Because basically they were putting too much into it.
Right.
They were trying to get rid of all the hot coal. And so the more coal you put in there, the hotter the fire is going to go.
So the faster
and the faster that fucker's going to move. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So the book also examines the physical impact of the fire on the ship, claiming that it lessened the force of the impact, like we just said. According to Sinan? Okay. Sinan Malani. Or Molani, I don't know. The Titanic may have been steaming at full speed before the collision, despite ice warnings due to efforts to put out the fire by shoving burning coals into the engine furnaces, just like I said. Most experts are, they're kind of divided on it, according to Samuel Haltburn, aren't they always? Mm-hmm. Quote, the watertight bulkhead would not have been sufficiently weakened by the bunker fire to allow it to collapse. Okay, he says it wouldn't have happened.
Right.
In addition, it has been alternately proposed that the coal bunker fire, because of the slight port list created by the list, meaning like that's when it a list on a boat is when it sways and can almost collapse, what do you call it? Capsize.
Yes.
It's called listing.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Listen to the left.
Yes.
Listen to the right.
Right. That means like when you're on a boat and you're like, oh, I'm fine. I'm not throwing up. And then it lists and all of a sudden, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Anyway, so this slight port list created by, that's the left side.
Very good.
Right. Created by and you know why I know that?
Why?
Because wine also has 4 letters. Port, wine.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Coincidence? I think not.
I don't even know what we're doing here today. Anyway, so it created by the movement of coal inside the ship prior to the encounter with the iceberg actually helped Titanic to survive longer during the sinking and prevented the ship from rolling over to starboard after the impact. Which seems like a bit of a stretch to me.
A little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know. These guys are way smarter than we are. A thorough refutation, in other words, the guy said bullshit, of Maloney's assertions has been published by some of these, our authorities of Titanic.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's basically it. I mean, obviously, it's, as far as that conspiracy theory is concerned, it was just, fires were all the time in ships.
Yeah.
It's just what they did.
But it's just kind of crazy to me. But anyways.
Yeah, it's just fucking crazy. There's actually been ships like, let's see, that in 1898, USS Maine, it actually blew up because it had fire in its hull and set off all the powder magazines in the damn thing. And that's a naval ship.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no bueno.
It's not good. Oh, boy. Okay, so now there are a couple little fast little quick hitters here.
Nice.
And these ones, okay, is it possible the Titanic was under pressure to create a new speed record? So maybe that the fire, but that kind of, it doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, so was Captain Dickhead Smith pressured to set a speed record for the quickest crossing of the Atlantic? There's no evidence that his boss, White Star Line CEO Joseph Ismay, put the pressure on him here. Paul Loudon Brown, author of the White Star Line from 2000, believes it is unlikely. Still, it's a theory because, again, this is the, inaugural run of this damn thing.
Right.
It didn't help that Ismay jumped on the last lifeboat to leave the Titanic while 75% of the third-class passengers were drowning. Yikes. Yeah, that's the CEO.
Huh.
Yeah. Titanic Captain Edward Smith's body was never recovered. His final moments remain a mystery with no shortage of conspiracy theories and conflicting accounts. Is it possible that he actually got away? I'm going to say probably not, considering 1/5 of everyone that went in the water got saved.
Probably.
Yeah. Or not even it went into water, but bodies were recovered.
Right.
Then, here's one for you. The official inquiries were a Freemasons whitewash.
Huh.
So the Freemasons were involved in the actual investigation.
Interesting.
Yeah. So an American investigation held in 1912 found that the sinking of the Titanic was an act of God, which in legal terms means a natural hazard outside of human control. The British inquiry found that the Titanic disaster was caused by a collision with an iceberg, brought about by the excessive speed at which the ship was being navigated. Blaming the speed.
Yeah.
The British also decided that there was no truth to allegations that third-class passengers were locked below decks. Really? Neither inquiry blamed the Titanic's owner, shocker, for negligence. However, leading to theories that the government inquiries were a whitewash orchestrated by Freemasons. And if you want to know more about them, you can go back and listen to that episode that we discussed Freemasonry. We could talk about all those guys and how they came up with it. You know what I'm saying?
They just wanted to fly, man.
That's it. Just want to fly. Just want to fly! So now, there are just kind of the tail end of this here. Okay, we're going to talk about the oceanographers here.
Yeah.
Right? And a little bit more about what they're actually like kind of what they've done and what they're kind of planning to do and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
Right? Is that what
they're making a tourist attraction for the Titanic?
Right. That's pretty much crazy, as well as making a Titanic 2. Okay, so Robert Ballard had desired to locate Titanic's wreckage for as long as he could remember. His early years spent close to the water in San Diego and, here in California in the States sparked a lifelong passion with the ocean. That sounds horrible to me. We would not be friends. And as soon as he was able to, he began learning to scuba dive. Nope, not doing that.
Did you know that scuba is an acronym?
Acronym, yes.
Yeah. What's it
Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
You are so smart.
I try. Ballard enrolled in the Army after receiving his chemistry and geology degrees from the University of California, Santa Barbara, in 1965.
Huh.
Ballard joined the Navy 2 years later. He's really into water.
Yeah.
In 1967, and was subsequently assigned to the Deep Submergence Group at the Massachusetts-based Woods Hole I thought I was going to get to it. Oceanographic. I can't say.
Oceanographic?
Thank you, Research Institution. This marked the start of his distinguished career working with submersibles.
Oh.
He spent a lot of time making deep water dives in Alvin, because Simon and Theodore were not available. A manned submersible that he assisted in designing. Sorry. Damn it.
I was trying to keep it going.
Yeah, trying to keep it. By the time he graduated with 2 doctorates, from the University of Rhode Island in marine geology and geophysics. This dude's smart as fuck.
Oh.
He can't be that smart. He's trying to go in the water. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Ballard assisted in the finding of hydrothermal vents during following dives in 1977 and 1979 close to the Galapagos Rift, which in turn led to the discovery of the extraordinary plants that thrived around these vents.
Yeah, that's actually
it's cool.
Really cool
It's
what
super
happens
cool.
with the
Yeah.
hypothermal vents. There's actually a species of shark that was actually just found within hypothermal vents and like underwater volcanoes and stuff like that actually live and feed and stuff like that inside these super hot waters. It's crazy.
What? That's weird. Are they cold-blooded?
Sharks?
Yeah.
I mean, they're fish. So,
But down there, they'd be hot-blooded, check it and see. Right?
That was good.
Right?
That was good.
Right?
That was
You
good.
know what I'm saying? So chemosynthesis, a process by which plants obtain energy from chemical processes rather than the sunlight, was discovered via scientific study of these particular plants.
Such a cool freaking theory.
Yeah, that's insane. So no matter how many shipwrecks Ballard discovered and how much of the ocean below he documented, the Titanic was always there. He always wanted to be a part of it, and he wanted to find the damn thing and learn more. So he says, I've always yearned to discover the Titanic. Okay, he says, in my world, that peak was Mount Everest, one of the many that had never been scaled.
True, yeah, because up until that point, they didn't know where it technically was at. They knew the whereabouts, but they didn't know where about it was.
I got you. Okay. So Titanic was not first sought after by Ballard. Okay, 3 of the teams that had been sent out to find the wreckage of the renowned ship over the years had received funding from rich oilman Jack Grimm. Ooh, what a name!
That is a very interesting name to have for an oil man.
Yeah, my name is Jack Grimm.
He had a big old cowboy hat.
I got oil. You find that damn ship, okay? Because there's this big fucking diamond on there. This old lady told me about you. You better find
it's right next to that mummy.
yeah, there's a mummy. I need to have that. So on his last excursion in 1982, Grimm captured an underwater image of what he thought was a Titanic propeller. Others thought it was just a fucking rock.
I mean, of course.
It's not a fucking rock. Ballard was to join the search for the Titanic this time, but he needed money first, right?
Yes.
So he chose to approach the U.S. Navy for funding for his mission because of his previous interactions with them. Obviously, he was in the Navy.
Yeah.
They consented. Huh?
In the Navy.
In the Navy.
Dude, I just watched on Periscope a couple days ago. Have you ever seen the movie?
Yes.
That's such a good movie.
Is it?
Such a good movie. It's so stupid, but it's so good.
Uh-huh. It's nothing like The Hunt for Red October.
No.
The Hunt for Titanic.
Or Das Boot.
And the Mummy.
You ever seen Das Boot?
Is that the drinking one?
No.
Oh.
Das Boot is what you use to drink a beer out of. But there was a movie called Das Boot where it was about the guy who actually played in Beer Fest, the old dad or whatever.
That's the one.
Von Hulthausen.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, no, Beer Fest. Yeah, no. The guy who plays in Beer Fest actually was the captain. Whatever.
Sheep shit. What?
I think it was like Sherman or Sheeman or something like that. But he was the main captain in
Semi, Slammy, Swummy, Samsonite.
Yes, that.
That's what it is. Sorry. So, no, I have not seen that. So, they actually consented, but not because they had a personal stake in discovering the mission ship. The USS Thresher and the USS Scorpion, 2 nuclear subs that had mysteriously vanished in the 1960s, were specifically targeted for investigation using the technology that Ballard would help develop. Yeah. So, they're like, listen, bro, you developed this, but don't tell anyone. We lost some nukes. Which happens a lot, by the way.
Yes, it does.
I mean, it happens way more than people think it does.
So many. Which is so. I'm sorry.
Especially in like in water, like in the oceans and shit.
So we trust our government to keep track of nukes, but they don't want us to keep track of guns.
Well, they obviously don't keep track of. Not very well, at least. And first of all, the first part of that statement was completely false. You said, we trust our government. Nope.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true. That's true.
Negative.
That is true. Yeah.
So Ballard's quest for the Titanic gave the Navy a good excuse to conceal from the Soviet Union its search for its missing submarines. Aha! This is Cold War time too, right?
Yeah. But which makes it even funny, though, because like the research that I found on this, it was the exact opposite. It was they approached him to try and find these subs, and they supposedly found them. And they were like a few weeks ahead of schedule, and they were just like, you know what? We're in the same area. Let's go find the Titanic. That's how I read it when I came across it.
I mean, we're here.
Might as well find this Titanic.
We got our nukes. Let's see if we can find this fucking thing. What do you think? High five.
So that's why I deep dove into it, and I was like, oh, it was not that.
So amazingly, Ballard managed to keep his mission a secret even while he developed the technology and utilized it to locate and inspect the USS Thresher and USS Scorpion's wreckage. Those are the missing nukes.
Yeah.
Ballard gained, and those are the ones they know about. Anyway, sorry. Ballard gained knowledge about debris fields while examining these wrecks, which would be useful knowledge to have while trying to locate Titanic, right? Mm-hmm. So Ballard was allowed to concentrate on looking for Titanic when his covert job was finished, once they found the nukes. He now had 2 weeks to complete it, though.
Yeah, 2 weeks to find that Titanic.
Not a lot of time.
No. But I have a question, though, prior to this.
Sure.
How do you lose 2 nuclear submarines?
I don't ask questions anymore. I don't. They do it all the. Well, okay. First of all, they probably lost the crew as well.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Potentially. I mean, they could have been saved, I guess, and it may have just went down because something happened. It could have been anything. It could have been.
They don't have windows on it, so it kind of makes sense.
Correct. It could have been hit by a fucking ice. It could have hit an iceberg
or a U-boat
or anything. You know what I mean? And then it just went bye and bloop 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 bloop, and it goes down so far that and they didn't have the technology to find it. So what are you going to do?
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just saying. So late in August of 1985, Ballard finally started looking. A French research team. Oh, the French now. They are in here too. All the accents are coming out today. Ha ha! A French research team led by Jean-Louis Michel had been asked to join this expedition by the author. Ballard and his group sailed the Nord, a Navy oceanographic Thank you, survey ship, to the Titanic's estimated last resting place, which was 1,000 miles east of Boston. Oh, the Boston guys over there. These guys are like, hey, you hear about what these guys are fucking gonna go fucking do? They're gonna go get those hey, fucking guys. They're gonna go get the fucking Titanic. Get the fuck out of here.
Every time you do that accent, all I think about is Ted.
What are you talking about?
You didn't put your stuffing in the right spot.
They're gonna get the fucking Titanic. Did you hear that? It's gonna be fucking amazing. Can't believe they're gonna find the Titanic.
There's so much porn.
So Ballard made the decision to use mile-wide sweeps in order to cover more ground than earlier expeditions, which had employed narrow sweeps of the ocean floor to look for Titanic. Mm-hmm. Two things allowed him to accomplish this.
Oh.
First, he learned through studying the two submarines' wreckages that lighter portions of the wreck were frequently carried downstream by ocean currents.
Ah, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
Leaving a significant debris trail.
Just going to say, I don't need 4 doctorates to know that.
That's called science. We know this. That's what happens when fish die in the ocean. So second, Ballard had developed a brand new autonomous submersible called Argo that was capable of exploring larger areas, diving deeper, staying down for extended periods of time, and delivering sharp, clear images of what is discovered.
I actually watched the Discovery Channel documentary about that.
Yeah?
The Argo. It's such a cool-ass little freaking submersible, but it's like, it's scary as shit, though. Like, it looks like a nutsack with propellers in the back of it.
You got me fucked up. You think I'm getting in that.
But you see everything.
I don't give two shits.
I would love to go down that, dude.
There's not an amount of money you could get. Well, hold on.
Come on, dude. Really?
Yeah, all right. I'll bet.
Yeah.
I mean, I might fucking throw up all over myself or something. I don't know. No, I'm just whatever. But I mean, there is an amount of money.
Yes.
There is. I'm not sure what it is, but there is. So Ballard and his group could now continue to work from the Nor while keeping an eye on the photographs provided by Argo, in the hopes that they would include, minute particles of detritus, poop,
basically, yeah,
debris,
yeah.
Made by humans. So wait, hold on a second. Was this wasn't manned? Argo wasn't manned?
I thought no.
Okay, so this was like he said autonomous, so by itself. Okay, all right. See, now I feel better about it. I thought it was like
you're not in it, but
the manned ones that they show up. Oh, dude,
those things are awesome, though.
No, I can't watch those fucking movies, man.
No.
Oh, ugh.
You ever seen Underwater with Eminem? I mean, what's her face?
With Eminem?
You never seen Underwater?
Is that I have seen that.
That's with Kristen Stewart.
Yes.
And she looks like Eminem.
Yes. She got her hair cut or whatever. That movie had me... it was a really cool premise. Loved it.
Really cool premise.
Whoa. I was just the whole time like...
Yeah.
So on August 22nd of 1985, the Nor arrived and started using Argo to sweep the area. On September 1st of 1985, in the wee hours in the morning, Ballard caught his first sight of Titanic in 73 years.
What?
The Titanic's boiler was visibly entrenched in the sandy ocean floor when the Argo was voyaging 12,000 feet below the surface of the water.
Huh.
Damn, that's far.
Yeah, that's a few miles.
Yeah. The crew on the Nor, they were obviously thrilled about this fucking, finding this fucking thing, but their joy was overshadowed by the fact that they were floating over the graves of approximately 1,500 people. Well, we figured less than that because they found
a third of them.
A fifth.
Fifth, yes.
Yes, a fifth,
yes.
So the mission turned out to be crucial in providing information about, Titanic's demise. And there was some speculation that the Titanic had sunk intact before the wreckage was found. Like it was. Remember, we said before that at first they thought it was one whole piece.
Yes.
Even though people that were there, maybe they couldn't see it though when it went down because it was pitch black there. You know what I mean? And they said the lights went out before, so maybe they just didn't see, and some people didn't see it.
That's not how it happened in the movie Titanic, though.
You're right.
But the lights stayed on until it literally started sinking underwater.
And by the way, I'm just going to say this for everybody. He could have got on that fucking thing. Mm-hmm. He could have got on that damn door with her. Mm-hmm. Bullshit. Mm-hmm. Fucking bitch. Anyway. So the mission turned out to be crucial in providing information about the Titanic's demise. Okay. There were some speculation of, like I said before, that, the way it was kind of done. And so although the 1985 photos did not provide researchers with conclusive information on the ship sinking, they did lay some fundamental groundwork that disproved earlier tales, like it did break in half.
Right.
So now, with modern equipment, Ballard went back to the Titanic in 1986, and he was able to study further the ship's innards. Images of the beauty that had mesmerized people who had witnessed Titanic in its height were amassed. In other words, like they saw, because it was still intact.
Right.
Now, of course, it was covered in barnacles and dust and dirt and shit like that, but you could actually see, and you could find these pictures online. They're fucking awesome.
The really sad part is, though, because there's been so much human interaction with the Titanic as of late, that it's actually starting to disintegrate and, whatever you want to call it, deteriorate faster because of all the human interactions during everything that's down there.
Well, that's part of the reason why they said they couldn't bring it up, right? It's because it's just going to, like, crumble and fall apart.
Basically, yeah.
So, of course, they're looking at this and they're like, holy shit. And during his second voyage, he took pictures of the grand staircase, still hanging chandeliers.
Wow.
And beautiful ironwork. And I'm telling you, I've seen this shit, and it's fucking awesome. It's extremely morbid looking at it.
Yes.
But it's super cool at the same time. There have been numerous Titanic missions since 1985. Since salvagers recovered thousands of artifacts from the ship's wreckage, many of these missions have generated controversy. Ballard has been vocally opposed to these initiatives, contending that the ship ought to be just left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
He made the decision not to bring any items found during his first two expeditions to the surface. He believed that people ought to treat the wreckage's holiness with the same respect. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Leave it alone, dude.
Just because it's not in the ground does not mean it's still not a grave.
Correct.
You're disparaging the grave.
So Titanic, RMS Titanic Inc. has been the most prolific salvager of Titanic items. A sizable chunk of the ship's hull, as well as travel bags, crockery, and even documents that were kept in oxygen-starved steamer trunk compartments,
wow,
have all been recovered by the business. The RMS Titanic Group initially was unable to sell the artifacts due to discussions between its predecessor firm and the French government. Instead, it was only able to show them and charge entry to cover costs and, of course, to turn a fucking profit.
Yep.
Premier Exhibitions, Inc., the current name for RMS Titanic Group, is in charge of the largest exhibition of these relics, which includes more than 5,500 items and is located at the Luxor Hotel, of course, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Ugh.
It's interesting. I kind of figured it would have been the British Natural History Museum.
Yeah, it should be. So although the Titanic has appeared in a number of movies throughout the years, it was James Cameron's 1997 film that first sparked a significant increase in interest in the ship's fate on a global scale. That movie was huge when it came out.
Yeah.
It was like the number one selling movie of all time up to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. The film rose to fame as one of the most watched movies ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can honestly say I have not seen it start to finish. And I will never.
It's all right. I mean, it's good. No, it's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
But knowing what I know now with it, I'm just going to watch it and decimate the whole thing.
Yeah.
So 15 years after the release of Cameron's movie, the Titanic disaster's 100th anniversary in 2012 also sparked renewed interest in the tragedy. Ballard is striving to preserve the debris. He doesn't want people fucking with it, and I agree with him.
Yeah, so do I.
Which is now qualified to be designated a protected area, as a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
And we talked a lot about that in Creepy Russia.
We did. An excursion in August 2012 discovered that the ship is degrading more quickly than was initially anticipated due to increased human activities. What Logan was just saying.
Just saying, yeah.
Ballard proposed a solution to delay the deterioration process, painting the Titanic white. Or white. While I was like, white. Wait a minute. To paint it while it is still 12,000 feet below the ocean's surface. But obviously the idea was never put into action, because how in the fuck are you going to do that?
Really good paint.
Jesus, like
Yeah.
what?
That's going to affect the trout population.
Just hear someone down there shaking it up. I need another can, dude. This water, man, it's just going everywhere. Like, do you see my hands? This is horrible. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, so the Titanic's discovery was a major success, but not only is there disagreement about how to treat this historical freaking find, but the artifacts that have already been found may also now be in danger. In its 2016 bankruptcy petition, Premier Exhibitions, Inc., haha, you're going bankrupt.
Yeah.
Requested authorization from the bankruptcy court to sell the Titanic's relics. The court has yet to rule on the request as the time of the publishing of what we just read to you. And that is, I mean, that's kind of the Titanic.
Yeah.
And all of its crazy conspiracies.
And now, boys and girls, it's your favorite part of the show, the movie review. Which top 10 movies will make the cut today?
All right, Logan, what are we talking about here in the movies
We
today?
are talking about a fantastic saga of the greatest Lost at Sea movies ever made.
Greatest Lost. Oh, and it's on Ranker. Love
It is on
Ranker. All right.
And I'm going to put money on this right now. We're going to do the top 10. I didn't look at the list. I'm going to say that Titanic is not even on the top 10 list.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Ranker is pretty rough, man.
Okay.
So.
Well, number 10 on the list is Titanic. No, I'm just
Say, like, are you fucking serious?
No, it's not. It's not. That'd be fucking amazing. If it was.
That would be pretty fucking funny.
So it's the Poseidon Adventure, and I have seen this. It's Gene Hackman, Ernest Borgnine, and Shelley Winters. And could you even tell me any of the people in that and what movies they've been in?
Gene Hackman sounds incredibly familiar.
He's a great actor.
Ernest Borgnine and Shelley Winters.
Borgnine. No. Shelley Winters, I'm not even going to ask you.
You know, go for it. Go for it.
Have you ever seen The Shining?
Yeah.
You have seen The Shining?
Yeah, all of
It's
them.
the wife in that.
Oh, no shit, really?
Yeah.
That's the one that she's hiding in the bathroom?
No, I'm lying. That's Shelley Duvall. I'm sorry.
Yeah, about to say.
Yeah, that's Shelley Duvall. Wait,
This is
it?
an old movie.
Yeah.
This is 72.
Yeah, that was right there. That's Shelley Duvall. I'm an idiot. Sorry.
The Shining came out in like 80.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm an idiot.
You admitted I didn't say it.
Yeah. It's fine. So, en route from New York City to Greece on New Year's Eve, majestic passenger ship, the SS Poseidon, is overtaken by a tidal wave with the captain, Leslie Nielsen, which is funny because you know who Leslie Nielsen is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all the
Airplanes?
naked gun movies and stuff
yeah.
like that. This is like a serious role for him. So this is not like a funny movie at all. Yeah.
Huh.
So he died in it, and it's a cool movie, but it's about a ship going down. This is number 113 of the greatest movie themes. Number 3, that's out of 306. Number 317 of 456 of the most quotable movies of all time.
Okay, hold on. I got to figure out what the number one movie is that.
I'm going to tell you most quotable movie of all time.
Yep.
I'm going to say Scarface.
Nope.
Really, what is it?
The Princess Bride.
Is it really?
And then it's Star Wars.
Oh, you know why?
Why?
Because he says, "My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father.
Prepare to die. Yeah. That is the most proper way of how to introduce yourself. That is legitimately broken down to who you are, why you're explaining yourself, and what you plan on doing.
Yes, I love it.
Like, it's amazing.
And it's also number 4 of 95 of the best movies about being stranded.
Huh.
Okay. Moving on, that's from 1972, yeah. So let's see. The number 9, In the Heart of the Sea. I have not seen this, but it does have our boy Chris Hemsworth in it.
Ooh.
Along with Cillian Murphy, too. Yeah. In 1820, crewmen, it says all their names, aboard the New England vessel Essex face a harrowing battle for survival when a whale of mammoth size and strength attacks them. So it's basically Moby Dick.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They just couldn't say dick in the name.
Dick. So this is number 49 of 84 of the best movies based on nonfiction books. Number 131 of 194 of the best adventure movies. And number 9 of 21 of the best Tom Holland movies.
Wait, what?
Why have that list? Why?
What? Wait, what?
Why have that list? That's just silly.
Tom Holland's made 9 movies.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a good one. Captain Phillips, number 8.
Look at me. I am the captain now.
I am the captain now. Of course, Tom Hanks, Catherine Keener, Barkad Abdi.
Yeah.
In April 2009, the U.S. Container ship Maersk, Alabama, sails toward its destination on a day that seems like any other. Suddenly, Somali pirates race toward the vessel, climb aboard, and take everyone hostage. It's number 30 of 80 of the best movies about being outnumbered. It's a fucking odd list. Number 59 of 101 of the best movies about a cat and mouse game.
Okay, I got to look at the very first one, though.
Okay. And number 6 of 12 of people talk about why they loved their biopics. What?
Yeah, biopics. Yeah, I'm not
It's fucking weird.
All right.
It's a cool movie, though.
Name the number one movie of the best movies about being outnumbered. What do you think it is?
Being outnumbered. Is it a popular movie, obviously?
Yes, very popular. We're watching it this weekend.
Terminator.
No.
You don't understand. There's so many of them.
Die Hard.
Were you there? No, you went there. Fuck Die Hard. Fuck that guy. Fuck him. I fucked everybody up. Bruce Willis is a bitch. Number 7 is The Finest Hours. Yeah, we have to watch Die Hard this week.
Of course.
Sure. Yeah. Number 7, The Finest Hours. Chris Pine. I actually think he's a great actor. Casey Affleck as well. Ben Foster. Haven't seen this either. On February 18th, 1952, a massive storm splits this SS Pendleton in two, trapping more than 30 sailors inside the tanker's sinking stern. Yep, this is a panic attack waiting to happen for me. Nope, not doing that. It's not on any list on this one for some reason. I don't know. It's on this list, but not on any other. Moving on. Number 6, All Is Lost with Robert Redford. I knew growing up, every woman in my family just adored Robert Redford. They thought he was the Chris Hemsworth, or who's the sexy dudes now, like Ryan Reynolds. But we think that's. Anyway.
I mean, he will never not be.
I'm just saying, like everybody had a hard on, for.
Like
crazy.
Brad Pitt, like in 1990, like George Clooney kind of thing, or whatever.
Yeah. But I'm talking like while I was growing up in like the early '80s, everyone's like Robert Redford.
I don't know any other movies that he's been in. I'm
you ever seen Indecent Proposal with Demi Moore?
Nope.
God damn it.
Another one?
It doesn't matter. Just moving on.
Okay.
2003. Oh yeah, he was actually in. Hold on. He was in what movie was it? Captain America. I think it was Captain America, where they were trying to get the ships and put them under control under Hydra.
Okay.
Remember, he had the little thing that would shock them, the part of the teams. That's Robert Redford.
Oh,
that's Robert Redford. Huh. Yeah, he was the head of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Huh. So during a solo voyage in the Indian Ocean, a veteran mariner, Robert Redford, awakes to find it should be awaken, right? Awakes to find his vessel taking on water after collision with a stray shipping container. Okay, so number 9 of 14 of the best movies with only one actor. Number 52 of 62 of the best movies that mostly take place in a single location, and number 50 of 130 of the best drama movies of the 2010s. Yeah. Do me a favor, look up what the number 1 film is for best movies with only one actor.
With only one actor?
Yeah. Number 5 is Life of Pi. Have not seen this. I've heard amazing things about it.
It's a shitty ass movie. Don't watch it.
Is it really?
I mean, you're gonna be pissed off when you finish the movie. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
It's all a fucking dream.
I don't need all that.
So stupid.
way to ruin it for me.
It's been out for 10 years. Bite me. Okay. Anyways, go back to the previous thing we were talking about. What do you think the number 1 movie about a single actor is?
Single actor.
Yep. Number 1 movie.
Legend. I Am Legend. Sorry, I Am Legend.
No, there was more than one actor in that.
Not really. Well, yeah, the chick at the end.
And technically, those bad guys too.
Then I have no idea.
Castaway.
There was actors in the beginning of that. And you can't tell me that I Am Legend wasn't. Anyway, moving on.
Anyways, number 2 on that was 127 Hours. That movie was about one person the entire time. That makes sense.
Number 4, The Perfect Storm with George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg. He was in this.
I think I've actually seen this. With John C. Reilly?
I was on a fucking boat the whole time. Huh. You understand? George Clooney, he's handsome. Here I am the whole time. I'm wet. And I was like, God damn.
There's so much porn.
Sorry. From 2000, based on a true story, the film tells of the courageous men and women who risk their lives every working day pitting their fishing boats and rescue vessels against the capricious forces of nature. Anyway, I have seen this one.
Yes.
Panic attack the entire time.
Yeah, I was really big into this with the whole Deadliest Catch thing that was going on. Yeah, I used to love watching that.
Number 5 of 84 of the best movies based on nonfiction books. Number 163 of 247 of the best rainy day movies. Odd. And number 1 of 32 of great movies set along the coast.
The best rainy day movies?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, this doesn't even make fucking sense. Number 1 on that is the Harry Potter franchise. The franchise. Not just one movie. All 7.5 of them.
You got way too much time in your hands. By the way, number 3, Titanic.
That's not fair.
Yeah, and we know this movie, obviously.
Yeah.
Number 4 of 50 of the 50 highest grossing 90s movies ranked.
Really?
Yeah.
Only got 4?
Yeah.
Oh, because there was like freaking 3 other movies that came out right after that were
Yeah, what's
bigger.
number 1 on that?
Jurassic Park.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Home Alone beat it.
Damn.
Home Alone was 3.
Oh, damn. So I guess I was wrong saying it was like the biggest movie.
The Lion King was number 2. Oh, it actually gives the dollar amounts here. Okay, so here. So number 4, the Titanic, on box office day brought in $1.8 million.
That's a lot.
Number 3, Home Alone, only brought in $476 million. The Lion King brought in $783 million. Jurassic Park, number 1 on this list, brought in just shy of $1 billion on box office day.
God.
So the Titanic brought in almost $2 billion
Total
on its box office. In the box office.
Like at the theaters.
$2 billion doll hairs.
I heard you.
In 1997.
I don't even know what I would do with that kind of money. I really don't. I have no idea. I mean, I'd like to find out, but I have no idea. Let's see. The number 2 on the list is Adrift.
Never heard of it.
Shailene Woodley, Sam Claflin, and Jeffrey Tom. I don't even know who these people are.
It's directed by Baltazar Komakyo.
Kamakyo.
Kama Camellia.
Oh, I like that song.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tommy Oldman and Richard Sharp couldn't anticipate that they would be sailing directly into one of the most catastrophic hurricanes in recorded history. In the aftermath of the storm, and Tammy awakens. Okay, I have no idea. It's called Adrift. I have no idea. The number 1 on our list, yeah, it's Castaway. Yep, kind of figured that would be the case on that one.
Yeah.
That last one didn't have any other lists, but this one, number 3 of 82 of the best movies of 2000, number 33 of 194 of the best adventure movies, and number 14 of 76 of the greatest movies to watch outside. What?
Wait, what? Hold on.
To watch outside? Who makes these fucking lists?
Okay, but we're going to go back to this list real quick, though,
right.
about the best movies of 2000.
Yeah.
Just give me your best, wildest guess at number 1. You're going to be pissed off when I
Of
say
the
it.
year 2000?
I would assume so, yes.
Right.
All the movies, all of the best movies
So
of
not
2000.
like not 2000s.
No, the year 2000.
Oh, fucking hell.
Give me your wildest fucking clue.
I got for year 2000. What is that singing movie?
Not even close.
Oh, what is it?
Gladiator.
Oh, that's a good movie.
And then Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, that's a good one.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's so good. It's good. You should. That's a Coen brother, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Yeah, you got to watch that because it's so funny. They're just like hillbillies that are trying to escape from prison.
Yeah, I've seen
So
parts
funny.
of it. Like I saw when they were like in the booth box, whatever, singing their song or whatever. Yeah,
It's such a great movie. Obviously, we know what Castaway is because Wilson. Duh.
Yeah.
We know what that is. So that's number 1 on the list, and those are the movies. And that was Titanic and her fucking weird ass conspiracies. I personally believe it was a hodgepodge. Well, kind of. But now I'm thinking that maybe J.P. Morgan. I mean, dude, if you could knock off your competitors that are trying to stop you from literally taking over the financial
industry
everything
of the United States,
of the
if
United
not
States,
the
right?
Euro- Yeah.
If you're trying to, get rid of your opposition, and you can make a quick buck
off of
while
it?
you're doing it,
Yeah.
that seems pretty shady, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But and then what lends to that too is that people saw searchlights. A lot of people said they didn't feel anything like an iceberg, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
It probably was every single one of these conspiracies all together. He started the fire. He hired a German U-boat to shoot him.
You know who didn't start the fire? Billy Joel.
We didn't start the
fire.
It was always burning since the world's been turning.
So I don't know, dude. I guess I never thought about it, but I think that motherfucker had something to do with it.
It kind of makes sense because
It does.
lot of the bad things in history all seem to have some sort of financial gain.
Yeah, well,
Supposedly. Allegedly.
supposedly,
Yes. Can we do some more conspiracy stuff here soon?
yeah.
Like,
I'm down.
can we go like real dark?
Okay.
Like 9/11?
Oh boy. Oof.
That's a rough one.
You think it's no? I don't know.
Is it too soon?
It might be too soon. I don't know. Is it? No, fuck it. We could do it. Maybe not. Maybe in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We'll do that. I want to go like fucking super dark and do some fucking like true crime shit coming up. Yeah, we haven't touched that in a while. So
we actually have not.
Yeah. So we'll go back into true crime territory, unsolved true crime territory.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, we want to know what you guys think.
Yes.
Does any of that sound legit to you? Does
anyone bank with Chase?
I actually do.
Oh God,
I do.
My mom does too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
get out of that.
I do. Chase. Yeah. Is that what the bank is? His
JP Morgan Chase. Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was Wells Fargo.
No, JP Morgan Chase.
Oh, but I also bank with them too, so it's fine. Anyway.
Yeah, Wells Fargo is even like one of the worst banks to partner with.
You know what? They haven't killed me yet. It's fine.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, or anyone that I think I know. Anyway. So we want to know what you guys think. Let us know. Get on the socials. Tell us all about whether you think Titanic went down and just organically and it was just a happenstance, or if there was a multitude of these things that were mixed together, or if JP fucking Morgan was a sadistic sumbitch and fucking offed everybody.
All I have to say is, next time you get on a cruise ship, just take a quick glance at the roster, people who are, on board, and make sure they're not competitors of a high-ranking banking person.
Yeah, if there's rich folk on there, get off the boat.
Don't rock the boat. Yeah. Don't rock the boat.
And I'll be waving from the shore as you leave, just so you all are aware.
You'll be throwing the champagne glass at the side of it.
We'll never get on another cruise ship, ever. No, never.
What if I asked you to take me on? Because I've never been on one.
No.
No?
No.
You could show me a good time.
Sure. I could show you a good time. Well, that sounded weird. That sounded really weird. Don't know where that was going. But we could have a good time.
There we go.
On shore. Okay? Yeah. Like, dude, listen, if you want, I'll take you down to where we go down south a little bit, and we can get on, like, the little canoes and go down the river.
Fuck yeah, never done that either.
Dude, it's super fun, and it's only, like, 2 foot deep.
Oh, even better.
So I can stand up in it.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So I'm good. I'm good. And you can drink a lot of beer.
Oh, even better.
It's a blast. It's an absolute blast. We have to do that. This summer we'll do that, for sure. It's so much fun. So anyway, I want to know what you guys think. Was JP Morgan the sadistic fucker that we all think he may be? Or was all this just a culmination of, things that took place? Or, again, did shit just fucking happen, man?
I think all of the above.
Right.
I think it was literally all of the above.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of shit that was
because
involved.
It's kind of hard to just ask your captain to rail a gigantic boat with 1,500 people on it into an iceberg. So I feel like that was the accident.
Remember, they never found his body, though.
They never did.
But they also didn't find
about 1,200
4/5 of the other people in there either, which is absolutely horrible. That's so sad to me. And what's even crazier is like the people that survived. Imagine being a survivor of that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you were so lucky, like so lucky.
Yeah,
you should be playing the lottery every fucking day, and you should be just kissing the ground you walk on and just enjoying life from that point on.
And never getting on another boat.
And truth. You think I don't like boats now?
Yeah, imagine
Let
that.
me be a survivor, something like that. I'll be the one fucking burning all boats down with the fucking spraying lighter fluid in the coal. Like, fuck y'all. Anyway, make sure to stop over to our official website, themidnighttrainpodcast.com. At our website, of course, you can buy yourself some super sweet merchandise.
Super sweet.
That's right. And get yourself some merch. We're still working on that. We're going to get it updated and whatnot. The new site actually did drop recently.
Yeah.
It's got our handsome faces on the front of it. Yeah.
The
new logo's on there, and it's a lot easier to kind of like navigate as far as like the way it looks and the things you can do on there and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. And if you like what you heard from us, listen. Do us a favor. Consider being a producer of the show. By producer, we mean you help us to do what we have to do, and you give us money to get bonus episodes. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
And much more. Okay? Just head over to the midnighttrainpodcast.com, click on the Patreon button, or go to patreon.com/the Midnight Train Podcast. And for as little as $5 a month, you can get all kinds of cool stuff and our undying appreciation, for sure.
Of course.
But all the bonuses.
All the bonus.
Like, especially the Fuck That Guy series.
That is, like, probably my favorite series.
Yeah. Dude, that last one that I did that one by myself, obviously. I still don't know how I feel about it. And obviously, for those of you that aren't Patreon subscribers, you probably don't know, but I did an episode on a guy who did something really fucking bad to a 16-year-old girl, and he was just executed last week.
Yep.
Yeah. It's really... And
actually, the day that you did it or the day that it aired?
I think the day that it aired.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to feel better about it, and I still feel
Dirty?
I feel kind of dirty. I mean, fuck him, seriously.
Oh, for sure.
No matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
And deepest condolences to the family of the victim and the victim herself and whatnot. It's wild. It's fucking wild. So anyway, get on over there, listen to that kind of stuff, because God, this has like been a Debbie Downer of an episode today.
A little bit, yeah.
It's been a fucking roller coaster, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's been a roller coaster this whole time. Like, seriously.
Was there just so much porn?
Oh my God, so much porn.
Gotta watch Ted now, dude.
So anyway, get on over there, sign up, get the bonuses, and support the show. And we seriously appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to follow us on all the socials. That would be the Twitter, the Instagiggle, the TikTok, the YouTubers, Spotify. While you're over there, do us a favor and
rate us, man.
Rate us. There you go.
Do it.
Rate us. And also, of course, Apple. Apple Music and Apple Podcasts and all that. You know what I mean?
Do it.
Do it. So seriously, thank you guys so much for listening. You really do keep us wanting to do this. And after the holidays, we're going to start getting back into it a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a lot going on, man.
So much stuff going on.
A lot going on. Like, I haven't slept well, actually, I lied. I actually slept pretty good.
What is sleep?
Yesterday. Was it yesterday? I didn't get up till like 11:30.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Do you know when the last time, like, you were probably in high school the last time I got up at 11:30? Yeah. Like, I just don't ever do.
Nope.
It's just not what I do.
Every day is an early day.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Every day is a good day.
Or is it?
I'm thankful for all the breath I take.
I'm thankful for all the midnight train I listen to.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
So listen, a big, super big, awesome, freaking, I can't thank you enough, very big special to all of our fearless executive producer, first class Patreon passengers. You guys are so awesome. To George DeJesus, Mega McTerry, Tomislav Sabota, Amanda Denz, Chris Lucas, Zachary Danielson, Joseph Aramo, Kelly Ryan, Nathan Diekman, Nicholas Cooper, Caitlin McKinney, Trent Scott, Spencer Dunlap, Jacob Cook, Maggie Brothers, Miles Campbell, Brian Gunzelman, damn it, I'm so close. Colleen Cox, Pumpkin Escobar, Mac Darty, Turner Cox, Sydney Sayer. I want to know if Colleen Cox and Turner Cox are related.
Huh.
Yeah, you guys got to let me know if you guys
I
are
do
related.
kind of miss the whole cocks in our poopers
Yeah,
thing.
well, we'll always have cocks in our poopers. To Sydney Sayer, Janet Sherrill, Chad Flint, Chris McLeod, Justin Kowalczyk, Rob Webb over at Fun Box Podcast, Christina Skelton, and Jessica Bartolome from the Sisters Skeleton Podcast. We love you, ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Maria Gibbs, to Chainsaw.
What the fuck?
Of course, to Jigsaw, Rick Resler, Courtney Batchelor, Katie Brabenek, and...
You ready for the Jewish?
And, of course, to our boy, Bill Birch.
Oh, good for you. Oh, hold on. Let me get my... Oh, good for you.
There it is. He was actually over the other day, and he was just like, yeah, the Jewish lady is like, I love it when she says my name. So spread the word, and if you want your name to be mentioned and for us to be forever grateful and get all of those bonuses, just become a Patreon producer, become a first-class passenger, and we will be forever in your debt. Okay? Listen, happy holidays.
Yes.
All right? Well, I hope whatever you celebrate, I hope you have a great one, regardless.
Yeah, or just enjoy time that you have with yourself.
Right. But listen, always stay safe out there, and... as always,
Choo-choo, motherfucker.
oh my God!
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
So much fucking porn.